again. People in the back, get 'em up. Boy, time for the people in the back, get 'em up. Boy, time for the people in the back, get 'em up. Boy, time for the people in the back, in the back, in the back. For the people in the back, 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 back. For the people in the back, 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 back. For the people in the back, for the people in the back, for the people in the
And there we go. That's what you call not being pre-prepared. Oh, morning, people. How we doing? I hope some people had a decent night's sleep. I think that has got to be the first decent night's sleep I've had in a good few weeks. It actually felt like I wasn't waking up with a soaking wet bed. It was actually nice to have a bit of air in the place. Like some would say, a bit of oxygen. Whatever way you want to put it, it was actually decent to get a solid, good night's sleep. Now, got a few things to do this afternoon. Oh, what did I do to kill some time? I thought, you know what? Stuff it. Come and do a quick show. News seems to be popping up here, there, and everywhere again. How much of it do you take serious? We all know half of it's BS. We are all still waiting for that same news to come through of, are we going to get a striker? Are we going to get a winger? Are we going to get anyone that is put down basically to be our goal scorer? Of course we are. Of course we're going to do it. That is the attitude we're meant to have. But it's definitely now getting to that point where, how do I put it? You're starting to honestly think, I think a few people honestly agreeing, and we are going to end up with Richie and Solanke up front. And that is not a good thing. I don't think anybody is looking on that as a good thing. But I honestly don't see where that is going to change. I don't see who we're going to get in. I mean, we all know what are the chances of Osherman getting in there. It's few and far between. That one's hardly got a chance of happening. It's one of the only irons worth happening. I keep reading the things like this morning about Gakpo. Spurs interested. Spurs are on him. They're willing to offer this much money. And then as all I keep reading at the bottom of everything is, we're not interested. Liverpool don't want to sell. They don't want to know. So, Savinho, we keep pushing. I just keep hearing it's actually Man City that are just the ones lagging it back, basically, trying to be awkward bastards. Now, with that, again, shouldn't we now be looking elsewhere? We've been going on at this one for 3 windows now. 3 windows. If this ends up all totally falling through, and we don't even get ourselves a winger or striker, like the last couple of games showed, it could cause us trouble. Yes, we've had a couple of goals. I mean, friendlies to me are pretty much irrelevant. I mean, seriously, let me stick the light on in here in the background. Yeah, there we go, better. Yeah, friendlies are friendlies. That's all they are. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't really pay much attention to them because there's no difference going down the training ground and watching something. They are pretty much irrelevant. It's like when people start preaching to me, did you see how well that goalkeeper did? Did you see how well the striker did, or the midfielder, or how Harry played? I honestly don't care. They are only friendlies to me. Nothing more, nothing less. It is no different to playing on the training ground, except their way of getting you to go to another stadium to watch them play their B team, C team, D team, and actually have to pay to watch it. To me, that is all friendlies are. And I'm not saying no one can't have a good friendly game. Of course you can. Anyone can have a good training game. I might turn up at Tottenham and have a brilliant game. Highly unlikely. But still, it can easily be done. So I don't judge and I don't really watch much of the friendlies. I just watch the replays to it. And the replays to the friendly, the latest one, I must admit, a couple of bits looked interesting. definitely. I mean, another one again who's definitely been sticking by it, it seems, over the friendlies, is Kinksky. I mean, from what I saw, he didn't have that much. He didn't have that much to do, but passed the ball out well and made a good save again. Okay, you're doing it in your friendlies, mate. Keep it going. Now get this man to show me what he can do in the Premier League. I think a lot of people out there seem to think I've got some sort of grudge against a player. No. It's like I've said to people before, I am just very, very, very skeptical of using an inexperienced goalkeeper. There's plenty other places out there that you can use an inexperienced player and get away with it. Goalkeeper for me is a very, very dangerous. It's not one I'm keen on. I still always rather prefer to have a solid, established goalkeeper. Every team has that goalkeeper there. And like I said, a couple of friendlies and 5 games just does not change my opinion for him. But the past couple of friendly games he has had, he's looked good. He's made some good saves. And this is one fella that I really, really do wish the best for and hope that he can prove me wrong. I want Kinksky to prove me wrong. I've got the funny feeling that by January, this fan base is going to be split right down the middle, and you're going to have half of them screaming, give him a chance, give him a chance. And you're going to have half of them screaming, why didn't we go and get ourselves a quality goalkeeper? This is where I think it's going to go with him. Doesn't mean he's going to go with him. Doesn't mean it's the way it's going to be. It's just the way I think it's going to go. Through a lot of things I've seen at Spurs, through a lot of things the way I've seen happen, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. By January, you're going to have a complete and utter crossbreeder fans. One who don't want him saying we should be getting a established goalkeeper, and ones who will be saying give him the chance. I mean, that's one thing we do seem to do at Spurs a lot. We do seem to love doing it, don't it? Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give that player a chance. How often does that giving it a chance actually come back and help us out? I'm waiting. Not that often, is it? Is there more important positions to fill in? Yeah, you can say there is. We need that goal scorer, definitely. But the thing I just find hard to understand, which I think some people don't actually see it from that side, is a goalkeeper can save you 10 to 15 points in a season. Same as a solid defence when it all works right. And if we're not getting the goals up front, we got to get the points from somewhere else. But like I said, over what I've seen of the friendlies, impressive. I don't know, I wouldn't say he's the word, but he's looked good. He's looked stable. And that's at least the very least of what we need out of our keeper. We need a stable keeper. We need one who can control the ball, control the situation, and do his job, basically. And if he can do that, I'm going to be the first man on here to turn around and say, do you know what? Got it totally wrong. We got a quality keeper there. I'm glad I was wrong. If I'm not wrong, I don't think I'm going to rub it in anyone's face and say, I told you so. The most I'll mention to it is like, well, I want an established goalkeeper. But a couple of people on there look like they had a respectable game, and I'll go through them in a minute. Like I say, got about an hour to myself at the most, and then got a lot of stuff got to do some running around today. More baby shopping and everything else. Getting quite sick to death of it, really. And Dave, how we doing, fella? Dave the Monk. You did always like that one, didn't you? Morning, Dan and chat, and Tony. Big up, Dan and guests and chat. Big up to you too, fella. Aussie Coys, good day, Dan. How you doing, mate? How you doing as well? And Ben, morning, Dan and chat. I'll try and pronounce names at this time in the morning. Zan would be the easiest way to do it for you, mate. You know, sometimes I can read perfectly fine, and then other times with dyslexia, I just can't put the bloody words together. Come love nor money. Anyway, Albzan is my guest there. Big up, Dan. Big up to you too, and also saying morning, Dan. And Ray, morning, Dan. All in chat. Also, Aussie, what are we saying here? The days need to keep ticking longer as it gets harder. Yes, it is. It's getting harder. And Archie Gray Fanatic. Oh, another one of them. Morning to Dan and all the chat. Morning to you too, mate. Alpzan also saying, "Big up Dan this morning. Morning to you too, mate." And Uzi, what we say? I think we are shit. We are up shit creek. Do you think we are really that bad up shit creek? God, say it in bloody eye. Do you think we are really that bad? Are we in really that much trouble, or are some people exaggerating the issue? I think that's the question starting to go around at the moment. People are starting to ask that question, like, is it really that bad? Is it as bad as it looks? Yeah, I think it's bad, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Like I've said with this window, if we ended up not signing anyone else, it's not put us in a good situation. But you still can't turn around and say that it's been the worst transfer window ever. I mean, some of the quality of the players we've bought, like Tonali, very good player. Yes, at Newcastle held him back, but we've got a very established, good player there who has also got another couple of levels to go up. Fernandez, everyone tells me how great he is. I have to take everyone's word for that. Me, honestly, I haven't seen much of Fernandez. I've only seen him play once or twice for West Ham, and I had to put up with watching Spurs last season. So why the fuck do I want to watch West Ham? Simple as that, basically. And then with the other we've got, I know Van Hecke's good. I know Senesi's good. Robertson, I think Robertson, I'm actually a bit more happy with than other people. I like Robertson as a player. Now he's defending, okay, leaves a bit to be desired, but then so does Porro. Porro can't defend come love nor money either. If I was going to put either of them two better on either side as a wing back on who's the actual better one, I'd say Porro's definitely the one who can get the ball and get the ball forward with it. I'd definitely say he's the one who's got the bit of that extra bit of stamina, or a lot more stamina, should I say. He's nowhere near as injury prone, and he can get up the other end of the pitch, and he can cross, he can pass, he can have a shot. But I think the one where Robertson takes over significantly, personally, I think he can cross the ball with much more pinpoint accuracy than Porro. I think he can pass the ball better than Porro. I think he can actually get in the box and put it across better than Porro. If we do play with wing backs, I mean, this is all. Don't know what happened there. I honestly don't know what formation we're going to use. I mean, when you look at it, it's definitely set up for wing back. What keeps happening here? There we go. That should be all right now. For some reason, the camera keeps cutting off. Where was I? Yeah, we haven't got that option up front. But if we was to use wing backs, we can use them for what they're for. We can use them for playing out on the wide, basically, and overlapping going up to the very top. And like I've said, Porro can cross that ball in there. Robertson is very good at crossing that ball in there. Neither of them are particularly defenders. I think everybody agrees on that these days, that neither of them two are exactly defensive-minded players, but very good at getting forward. And getting forward is going to be what we mainly need to do. And if we're playing with three at the back, then the wing backs can get on with it and do as they please. At the moment, in the middle, you go and stick Tonali in the middle. That looks pretty solid, doesn't it? And then we go to the next bit. Where do you start? What do you do? Just flick a fucking coin? I don't know. That's where it's going to get to the awkward bit. I mean, when you get to the point that you're having a discussion of who's going to start for us out of Richie and Solanke, you know there's an issue there somewhere. You know there's something not right there somewhere. I just don't see where we're going to get this striker. I honestly do not see where we are going to get this striker from. Oh. So then we've definitely got to double up out on the left or out on the right. The annoying thing is with this for me, like really frustrating. I'll say hello to Bub Pete first. And Capone, big up Dan and chat, big up to you too, mate. And John George. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't swear. Oh shit, I left my fucking fans down. You know, don't you? And AUZ, probably Nicholas Jackson. Mate, I'd rather not go for anyone if I'm going to be honest. Instead of getting Nicholas Jackson, I'd rather stick with Richie and Solanke. I know some people might say that sounds a bit strange, but I don't think he's no better, bar a goal. He might score one more goal. So I would rather that instead of going and wasting a significant amount of money again, like we are very well known for doing, I'd rather we just didn't waste the money. Now, I know others are going to say, but we need that player in there. I get it. But how many of us now have complained about the utter waste of money we have spent on players? Anything from Solanke, Richarlison. You can still say Tell has been a waste of money. Gray. Has Gray been a total waste of money? Yes, for what he's worth, but being able to put him in backup places and everything else, he's had his utility side to him, yeah? Bergvall, for 12 million or 8 million, whatever it was, not really a waste of money because we can get 40, 50 million back for him. And then you look at other players that we've got. We have got Saar, another one. We have got so many waste of money that we have got in that bloody team. So I think I'm at that point now where I'd rather just, instead of going just basically spunk the money up the wall, just get rid of what you can and then go with the flow, basically. I know a lot are going to disagree with that, but what do you want them to do? If we can't actually get the player and we can't find a player to get, do we just go and get another Richarlison, i.e., like another Nicholas Jackson? No, I don't want that one happening. I don't want that one going on. I would rather we didn't spend the bloody money. I know it's not our money to be bothered about, totally. And I totally agree with anyone who says that. It ain't our money. Why do we care? No, the thing I'd care more about is if we went and spent a 70 million on the Jackson and it ends up that there's a good chance he's just piss poor as Solanke or Richarlison, then there's another player that we're paying significant money for on wages and we can't get rid of it. So where do we go? If we can't go and get the quality we want, do we then go and get a Nicholas Jackson? Some people will obviously say yes. I think more people will say no. I'd rather just not get a player. Instead of getting another player that we waste our money on, that we can't bloody sell because he's crap, I'd rather just we don't go and waste the money. But that's a personal opinion. And Tottenham, I can't even read that together. Tottenham show. Morning, Dan. Morning to you too, mate. To last night, like I said, I could actually breathe last night and wake up at a normal time. And Capone, Dan, is it necessarily for Lange and Vianney to go? I'd quite happily have them gone, mate. I'm quite surprised Lange is still here, even though he's got rid of a couple of players. I'm still quite surprised he's actually still here. With no pre-season tour, aren't they supposed to sort out incomings, outgoings? They are not needed on tour. I think the way I can look at that one, mate, I mean, if they're meant to sort out incomings and outcomings, up until the point we've reached at the moment, the outgoings and incomings ain't actually been that bad. Okay, some of them dragged on a little bit. But up until basically now, where we need those strikers, we've had very good incomings in defence, very good incomings in midfield. We've made some good money on certain players. I mean, Vuskovic making 50 million on that fella. He's never even played in the fucking Premier League, and you make 50 mil off him. You can't grill no one for that. Getting Romero out the squad. 40 million, I know some are going to complain for that one, but for me, not really worth a penny more. He hasn't done anything to justify anything else. And then when you go and sell to a smaller league, basically, where all the clubs haven't got the money like we've got, you're not going to get that sort of money. And if they're out on tour as well, that's what these are made for. You could be on the other side of the planet these days and you can look at someone in the face and make a deal with them. You don't need to be there anymore. Would it help being there? Possibly. But these days, how many businesses are actually done face to face? I mean, even if you're in trouble at court and you don't want to turn up to the court and you know it's not a sentencing, it's all you got to do is sit in front of your fucking computer. It is literally that simple these days. You could do everything in front of your computer, on your phone, on your iPad. So for me, that's no excuse of not getting deals done. If you can't get face to face to person, that is not an excuse. You've got a fucking phone, you've got an iPad, you've got a computer. But I can see where you're coming from. I don't think they've done such a terrible job on sorting things out. But I don't think they've done a great job either on getting in the places that we need to improve. We've still got some excess crap I think we need to get rid of. Personally, I would still want to see the back of Bergvall. I still want to see the back of Saar. There are another two who I would rather go. I mean, Morgan Gibbs-White is the player that I definitely want in there. I mean, you know what? Give me a second. I'll come back to that Morgan Gibbs-White one. And Hotspur Flicks, how we doing this morning? Big up Dan and chat. Big up to you too, mate. And Vicario off to Juventus. Yes, he is. But it's not a full-time contract. It's option, isn't it? They don't have to buy him. From what I've seen with Vicario is they've put in an 8 million bid for him. We've accepted the 8 million basically, and it's 8 million loan. And then at the end of it, they have the option of whether to buy him or not. It's even that they have to buy him. So for all we know, we could end up at the start of next season and have Vicario sitting there at the start of next season. That would not be something that I don't think any of us would want to see. That is another one we know we all need to see the back of him, basically. He's been a horrendous goalkeeper over the past season. Needs to go. But that one is only going on loan now. And morning, Brian. How we doing, mate? Good morning, everyone in the chat. My brother Brian, how you doing, mate? Brian, if you're bored, mate, let me know and I'll send you a link. It's not a problem, fella. Tell you what, just in case you're there, where are you? I'll send it to you. If you're busy, no problem, mate, but I'm just sending it there. And there you go, mate. If you're bored, feel free. If you're busy, don't worry about it, mate. And what you're saying there, good morning, everyone in the chat. My brother, Hotspur Hood, hope you're doing all well. Yes, mate, just a bit stressed out at times with everything going on at the moment. I mean, blokes don't deal with these situations very well. Women are the ones who know how to deal with this shit. But yeah, like I said to others, Brian, finally getting a decent night's sleep meant a hell of a lot to me. And Sam as well. Dan, you happy with Spence and Stones at that inter-back five? Well, Stones looked pretty good, didn't he? When he scored himself a goal, did not look sad at all, must admit. Quite liked him. And, yeah, Swigs talk Spurs. Some of the names that people come out on here, amusing. Big week for Spurs now. Big, massive week for Spurs. And Ghost LDN, big up Dan, big up to you too, mate. Paul Spurs getting 3 attackers and away we go. God, the minute we're out as... I don't see 3 attackers coming in, mate. I don't see that. I think we're going to be lucky if we get 1. And Paul, we have had way worse transfer windows. I totally agree with that one. One thing you definitely cannot argue with is the quality that we have brought in on where we've got it. I mean, in midfield, the midfielders are 2 tier above what we had there. There's no way you can go and call it a successful transfer window if we don't at least get that left winger. No way. You can't do that. But you can't call it a failure either. I'd have to give it something like a 6.5 out of 10 for the quality and the standard that we have brought in and how fast we got it done. But then the rest of it, you look at it and it seems to go back to same Spurs, different day, doesn't it? We seem to have a bad habit of doing this, of leaving things to the last minute, which it actually looks like we're starting to do. But I think this one is more of a question of why is it getting left to the last minute? Is it getting left to the last minute because Spurs ain't getting off their arse to do it? Or is it actually getting left to the last minute because the other teams are just slowing down? If the other teams like City, like Liverpool, we're trying to make the deals with, aren't exactly saying no, letting us make the offers, trying to get what they want in, but then just stumbling and starting and everything else and prolonging it, you can't really blame us for that. But then what you can say is that Spurs should have another plan or be able to make another decision of say, do you know what? If it ain't going to work with you, Savino, fuck off. We're going over for that man there. That is what we should be able to do. And that is one thing Tottenham never seems to be able to do. Change its mind on an important decision. Okay, it's not working. We've got to go over for the other plan. Or if you haven't got enough plan, that is why you have good scouts to help you make another plan. I mean, the fact that we haven't shopped outside of the Premier League, is that a good idea or is that a bad idea? Now, I can see the good idea for it in the aspect of wanting to get players in that have Premier League experience. It obviously helps. It's shown in the past it helps. Other players have come over, landed on their feet. Others don't land on their feet. Just because you move from one to the other doesn't mean it's going to necessarily work. But Brian, my man, how are we doing? Long time not go.
Exactly, brother. I thought, you know what? I'm on my day off and seeing that I work nights. I've been awake since 3 a.m. thinking I should be doing stuff. And I haven't spoken to you for ages, bro, properly on a stream. So I thought, why not? Why not? How are you and Beth?
Oh, I'm all right, mate. Working nights is a bastard, isn't it?
Mate, I'm loving it. But when you have your days off, it just screws with your head. It just screws with your head. So I'm in that mood at the moment.
No, the way I used to get it is where I used to work nights doing the door work and that up in London and everything and that. It was 9 times out of 10, it was always night works unless you was doing a big festival event and that. And when you're standing outside somewhere like Ali Pali, Brixton or Ministry and all the other places out there at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then you don't get home and it don't finish until 5 in the morning. You get home at about 7 o'clock. You have your shower. You're in bed by about 8:30. It's bloody hot, and then next thing you know, all you can hear is all the cars, all this, all that. There's no peace and quiet. It is a right bastard to get some sleep.
Well, mate, all I do now is I stay up till about 1 o'clock. So then I sleep longer before my shift. I go on streams or listen to Spurs. I stay up because you know how bad my sleep is. If I go to sleep straight away and I wake up at 5 p.m., I've got another 6 hours before work. Then I've got to do an 8-hour shift. So I'm like, no, sleep in the afternoon, wake up 2 hours before work, fresh like you do in the morning, and away we go.
Do you know what, mate? That actually makes some solid sense. Because instead of getting 2 sleeps of 3 hours here, 1 hour there, 2 hours there, the more solid the sleep, the better. They say the minimum you should get at any time is 4 hours, basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what's the other one they say? Like, an hour's sleep is good, but anything more than that can actually do you more damage if you get up in an hour and a half or so. I know there's a routine to it and everything. So, with all this thing going on at the moment, I'm just talking about here. I mean, I'll come to you first with the Vicario thing. What do you think with Vicario? We've basically let him go on loan now, and they might have him for the 8 million. And it's basically come down to the fact that they can't get Miles Savinia and they can't get Martinez either off of Villa. Yep. So they've basically come to Vicario. What do you reckon on that one?
Well, first of all, I'm delighted he's gone. Second of all, it clears another foreign space. So we've got rid of Spence and Romero. Romero and Vicario. So that's a couple of foreign spaces gone as we clean up. And it just goes to show the money we got from Spence from Inter just shows that we got a good deal for it because there's no money in Italy. So
there's nothing in Italy.
There's nothing. So people were going that we should have got more money for him, which I can understand, but he wanted to leave the club. But with Vicario, mate, like you were saying, he started off really well. He started off superbly, to be sure. But his distribution is shocking.
Me and you were one of the two that defended him from the start, wasn't it?
No, I wanted Raya to begin with. And then I went after the first few games, I was like, all right, I think we've got a keeper here. But the last couple of seasons with this distribution, and we just come off the back of Lloris and his distribution. Now that you've heard me, you and me have had debates about Kinski. The one thing Kinski gives you is a lot more confidence with his feet, and it was his shot stopping, and his shot stopping is getting better and improved. You know, I'm a fan of him. I heard what you said about him.
I can't default his distribution is much better than Vicario. But when someone says it's much better than Vicario, it's not bloody hard.
Exactly. But like you said, Dan, I was listening to the show from the start. You are one person that when you are wrong, you own it. And
I hope I am.
exactly, like you were saying, I think Kinski's made some stunning saves in pre-season again, especially the Chelsea game. His shot stopping is improving, and it was the right time for him to go. It was the right time for him to go, and I've got full faith in Kinski.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. If you've got full faith in him, I've got full hope in him.
There
I
you
think
go.
is the way to put it. I mean, people seem to think that just because you don't necessarily rate a player for the team or whatever, that I'm now going to want him to fail so I can turn around to everyone and basically say, fuck you, I got it right. I'm sorry, I don't work like that.
Exactly.
I am more the one that I want to sit here and put my hands up to everybody and say, I got this one wrong. We have got a quality goalkeeper. It's not a point scoring system. I am just very, very wary on having a unexperienced goalkeeper. It is just one thing me as personally I don't like, whereas other people don't have a problem with it. I think those last 5 games he played, very good games, definitely part of saving us. I think there was a lot more to it than just the goalkeeper, just the manager, Paulinho. You can put the manager, Paulinho, goalkeeper. You can even put it down to the fact that West Ham screwed it up good and proper as well.
Oh, completely. They lost their 3 games. But isn't it nice? Like, I've tried to be like you've seen me on streams this season. I'm a lot more. I want to be on the other side of the coin this season. But isn't it nice to use words like faith and hope, as opposed to words we have been using for years since we've known each other? Did you watch the Hoffenheim game on the Saturday one?
I watched the replays of both of them.
I haven't seen the second one because I was at work. But what I loved, and I mentioned it on Last Word of Spurs, is the diamond kind of thing that we had with Kinski, Senesi, Van Hecke, and Tonali that are also comfortable on the ball, under pressure, want to get the ball forward. We talk about diamonds in midfield. How nice is it to have people that are comfortable on the ball? So it's looking good. It's looking good. It needs to get better, no doubt about it.
It does.
But it's. I'm happy where we are right now, with time left to get the forwards in.
Yeah, I mean, in that aspect, it's like I've said to people, Brian. Yeah, if we don't get what we need, basically, as in up front, then you can say the season has the window hasn't been great. But for me, it's not the end of the fucking world, like some people are saying, a complete and utter disaster. Because where we have improved significantly, in my opinion.
Yep.
Not just gone up a little bit. I mean, Fernandez, again, I just have to go by people's words. I'm going by people's words that he's going to be quality, because that's what everybody keeps telling me. And Tonali there is a player I've rated since AC Milan.
Yep.
And again, I think they held him back from the way he played. He's a very, very good player to have on the pitch. If not, Tonali is almost one of those players that's almost better off the ball than he is on the ball. Now, 100%. People who've watched football a lot might actually understand what I'm saying there. I know that sounds a bit strange, but wait until you've seen him play a few games. He reads that game extremely well. And then Van Hecke and Senesi in the middle, or who are we going to have as our back two? Or is he going to do Van der Ven on the left? Or is he going to play us with a back 3? This is where people are asking questions.
But mate, do you know the good thing about it? Look at those options. Should we play any of those? Look at those options. Like you said, do you know what? When we went for Robinson in January, I weren't sure about it. When we got him in the summer, I was like, okay, I got the off the ball stuff and on the training ground, the influence, the experience, yada 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 yada. But obviously he's on the decline. But do you know what? The crosses he's been putting in, if there is a striker there and getting forward, then he's a very good option to have. I mean, you know, I'm still a fan of Kevin Dance, so I won't change that. Yes, he's got a calamity in him, but when we need someone that's aerially dominant, he's the first one I think of in that
squad
still.
Player. I think that's good enough for a squad player.
Yeah, and I think
he'd be best in a back 3. In the middle of a back 3 is where I think you'd.
That you keep freezing. No, that could be it. That could be it. But it's we've got very, very good options. We've got very good options there to choose. He can go to a back 3. He can put Van der Ven out wide if need be.
Right, Brian.
Yeah.
1 sec. This might cut me off for 2 seconds. I'll be straight back on. My VPN's messing about and keeps kicking me out, so I've got to turn the VPN off. It might knock me off here for a moment.
All right, cool. If you do, I'll carry on talking about the back four, and it has knocked him off. So yeah, I'm happy with the defensive options. I'm delighted with the ones. There we go. I'm delighted with the ones we got out. Absolutely, mate. What you got to remember as well with this window, we're looking about players going out, players coming in. The players that got out, we've done bloody well. Yeah, there's more to go, but we've brought in really good fees for people. We really have. We've brought in. When have we sold like this before?
I mean, the selling we've done as well. I mean, people can argue for Spence. I do definitely think we got a little bit of a kick in the bollocks. But then also, bar those two West Ham games. Why did I say that? Bar those two England games he had. What has he really done? Okay, he went through that stage where he was probably our better player on the pitch for 6 games. But then why did every manager drop him?
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a reason to it. Why did he get sent back from being out on loan? And it was made clear as day because they didn't like his attitude. There's a bit more behind this one, I think. I don't think he hasn't got the capability to be in the squad. I would have actually liked to keep Spence as good cover for the left and right because he can definitely defend better on the left and right than Porro, who I think is an abysmal defender.
Yeah, we're not going to get there. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. You and me are very different there.
He's good at getting in front of the ball. I'll give him that. But I can do that. And Spence, I think he's actually a good defender, and he's better than Robertson as well as a defender, who's never really been a defensive-minded player as such, even though he plays as the back. He's the one who gets forward. Now, them two both, very good at getting forward, very good at crossing that ball. I'd say Porro's the better, he's got the better engine on him, better pace on him, and I'd say he's got the more power on the cross and the pass. Whereas Robertson, much better than Porro at crossing and passing for accuracy. Whereas Porro relies on that little bit of power for his pass as well. Not saying he's got no accuracy, not at all. But he definitely relies on a bit of power on his cross and pass as well. Whereas Robertson's one of those ones, his pinpoint accuracy on passing for me, I've always thought he's brilliant. I thought he always got overlooked because Trent was that much better that no one really acknowledged him for what he was actually good at in that aspect. I'm quite happy with getting Robertson on a freebie, if I must admit. I quite like him.
I'm happy that I was, but going back to Spence and Porro, what will be good for Porro this season is obviously he was caught out of position. I can't defend that, I can't say he wasn't. But what I will say with that is last couple of seasons with Maddison out injured for a lot of it, he's been the only one that has got a quality pass in him. So he's been bombing forward to try and get in those positions, and we've had shocking passes of football. But with Senesi and Van Hecker then being able to ping those balls like Toby did, he's going to get found with those runs, and with Tonali and whatever. So I'm thinking to see a lot better from Porro. I think this will be Porro's best season. And like I said, he's my favourite player. I'm a huge fan of his. But then when it comes to Spence, as you were saying, Dan, he had those 2 games for England, and granted, they were brilliant. Does Boxy want round 2 from yesterday?
By the look of it. Alex just messaged me, mate, and it'll be there. I've got so many bloody things. I tell you what, I'll find it.
I'll WhatsApp him because you linked it to me, didn't you? With Spence, he had those 2 good England games. He had those 2 England games, but then you tell me when he was playing left back, predominantly for Spurs, when he was bought as a right back, he didn't attack like that. He was checking in, coming back, and it's quite clear that De Zerbi wants a left-footed fullback. Left-footed left back, which he isn't. So that's one reason. But the main reason is he wanted to go. And I don't blame Spence for that. After a World Cup and his age, he's been playing second fiddle for years. He wants first-team football.
Especially, that's the chance you've got a bit of noise around your name as such for the right reason.
100%.
It's the right time to do it. I mean, and look where he's just fucking gone. Inter Milan, for God's sake, yeah? I've got to put up with him. So I'll be able to keep track on him and tell everyone how he's doing. And do you know what? I think he'll actually do all right there. He's the same sort of player as Dumfries was, just nowhere near as good, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the one he definitely if Spence could actually get the ball forward like he does, and then not just turn around and pass it back, and if he could actually cross and shoot, I think you'd actually have a good player there. If you just want to play defensive, Spence is a very good man to keep as a left back or a right back. Yeah, but getting forward,
he did it with Tuchel. Tuchel was defensive, weren't he? And he still bombed.
But when he got forward with the ball in the games, he did nothing up the other end of the pitch except maybe get one pass in there. That is what he slacks on. But 26 million, I can't really complain in the aspect, since he has been a substandard player to us for the past 2 years, basically. Only played when there's no other option. The second Udogie gets fit, Spence was always kicked straight out, or Porro gets fit or whatever, straight back out. Every manager that has been with us has dropped him. If we'd have sold him in the Premier League, I would have said I wanted 40 million for him.
Yeah, agreed.
But as soon as you sell out the Premier League, you can take 30% off the price, can't you? Because nobody else has got the money in any other league except PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid.
Yeah, Barca.
You know, we know Barca, and these days, mark my words, next 3 seasons, Como, they're going to win that Serie A. You heard it here. Watch.
They have, mate, as much as we hate their managers in Cesc Fabregas, what an incredible job he's doing.
Good player.
Outstanding player. An outstanding player, Cesc Fabregas was, unfortunately.
But you watch. They've got the money to throw about. They're getting the Champions League for the next 3 years straight, and they will be able to spend money. Watch them. Next 3 years, they're going to win that Serie A. They're going to become a bit of a force in Europe. I say a force. They're going to be a well-known team in Europe, I think. Yeah,
but the other thing with Spence, mate, what we've got to look at, there will be people that will, and like you said, if it'd been Premier League, we would have wanted it to be more. We've said, and loads of people in chats and Spurs fans in general said, Spurs need to be more ruthless, and if they're not wanted or they're not a future, get them out. Don't wait till their contracts get down to the final year, then take that extension to hope we get money. If he got dropped by Roberto De Zerbi for a Destiny as soon as he was fit, and he's not going to feature in his plans, then why are we keeping these players here? To just sit around, do nothing, collect a wage, get fed up that they're not playing, create a bad, could possibly make the place a bit toxic, or have their anger rub off on the team. Get rid of them.
Do you think it's another one of them situations of that a few fans just find hard to let go of players full stop for whatever the reason might be? Now, I can understand why some wouldn't have wanted to let go of them, but with the points you've pretty just made there, I can't see why anybody would argue it.
Yeah, look.
Apart from one thing. Who's going to cover our right back now? Archie Gray?
Mate, so I will speak Archie, but yeah, I mean, all of our business has been great apart from Alfie Divine, the damn fucking club selling that player. How dare they? How dare they sell Divine? But yeah, no, I'm joking. That the business has to be done, and people know I'm very sentimental with him. And I don't care what player goes. If they don't want to play at this football club and the manager doesn't want them, and we can upgrade them, or even if we can upgrade them, you upgrade them. If someone could have said you get an upgrade on Pedro Porro, you upgrade it. I'm fine with it. I'll be disappointed, but it's for the benefit of the club. What was the second bit you asked, Dan? Sorry?
Where was I?
It was
Vicario.
No, we done Vicario. No. You asked me about the selling players and sentimental. Oh, who's going to Gray? Archie Gray.
Yeah,
I've got. Do you know what? I feel differently to you with Archie Gray. I'm not as there with Lugo, but I've always said I think there can be a player in there. If Roberto De Zerbi has played him every single pre-season game and even made him captain for a majority of them, I think that goes to show that he loves Archie Gray. There were rumours that maybe that was the opposite. I don't think he's looked too bad at right back at all this season, and he's certainly bulked up. He's certainly made a few of them have bulked up.
From a couple of videos I've seen, he seemed to have manned up a little bit.
Yeah, mate, he has. And do you know what?
That's only videos.
I don't think he's been that bad. And what the way I'm looking at it right now, if you said to me Spurs go and spend all their money building that front line, or they get a couple of players up front and a right back, I choose completely redo that front line. So I would be fine with Gray with 1 game a week, with Pedro Porro pretty much being indestructible, but hopefully De Zerbi will say to him at times, right, you need a rest, we're going to rotate and drop. Until, if Archie Gray isn't up to the job, you readdress it in the summer or January. The most important thing, as we all know, is that front line. That's the most important thing for me.
That is the one we definitely need to do. I mean, I personally think, I don't think Gray is good enough for that first 11 any means or manner, and I'm going by last season and the season before. But one thing I have said about him is I do believe there is a chance if he gets consistent football somewhere and actually finds what position he's going to play in, because he's not a right back. He's not.
Wait, what's the Leeds and he got into Team of the Year?
I don't think he actually made it in Team of the Year that season.
It's the Championship Team of the Year. He got into it, or young.
No, I think it was Leeds team. It was
Leeds team. Leeds team.
Right,
he played it right back.
I'm looking at the champion. I'm looking at the actual Championship Team of the Year.
Oh no!
He made it into the Leeds team. Yeah, but so many people have always said he's not an actual right back. He's a midfielder, and then he's a defensive midfielder. But then when I look at everything else we've got there, out of all the excess baggage we need to get rid of, if anything, Archie Gray isn't at the top of my list. Now, if someone comes in and offers me 40 million, baked potato, mate, see you later, you're gone. But out of all of them, when it comes to like Sarr, when it comes to Vicario, when it came, I would have personally said Romero was more important to get rid of than Gray.
Yeah.
We all know 100%. Romero's a better player. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. But I would have, Romero was more important for me to get rid of.
100%.
I've got no problem with keeping Gray this season as long as he's nothing more than a squad player. Plays in the odd game here and there, in the odd 5 minutes here and there. I can deal with that one. Yeah. But if he's a player that we need to play in our first 11, then we're back to square one and we know we've got problems.
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that. That's your opinion, and obviously, I wouldn't go that far with Archie Gray. He won't be the starting right back. Will he play in Carabao Cup games, early round or early FA Cup? So Porro can get a rest.
No beef with that.
No problem. If Porro doesn't get, we know Porro doesn't get injured. If he plays, like you said, coming off the bench, even if it's going midfield at times, no problem with it. But if it's right back and Porro gets an injury and Archie Gray doesn't look like he's up to it, then Spurs could go address that in January or go address that in the summer and go right back. Look how much, like we've said, business we're doing to try and right the wrongs. It's all going to get done, but not all in one window. And right now, the priority is that front line. Like I said, if we don't address that front line at all, and at least bring in 2, my thoughts once the window closes drastically change. Just because we've left, especially left wing, we would have left a position that we know last summer needs to be sorted. But if we get 2 of the 3 in, then Spurs have spent big, and I don't mean net spend and blood. I mean on players and fees they've brought in, and then like other big teams do, they just chop and change the odd couple or 3 every so often and get the big players in because they've got the foundations in. So I think Archie Gray's fine.
To stagnate it, basically.
Exactly. Just keep it freshen it up every window.
Well, for me, this is going to be a big season for him. Then when he does play, he's got to show that he's worthwhile. Because me personally, I don't think he's got the quality to be in a Premier League starting team until you go down to the bottom 5, and even then, I think he struggles to get into the team. He's done nothing to justify any starting capability of a top team. But there is time to go. I will give it that. And he's one I will give more of a chance than I will do, say, over Bergville. Bergville is one I'd love to see the back of.
Agreed.
Why have we not accepted a 40-50 million bid on Bergville?
Mate, I don't know. I think this one drags out till deadline day. That could be a deadline day or much later in the window thing. I would have accepted 50 straight out the bat. But like I said, it's not. Look what we're doing. Like we said, with Greydess now, De Zerbi has got a lot of faith in him, and he knows what he wants. And maybe there are plans for certain funds to go there. But I would have taken 50 for Bergville all day long.
Do you know what I would do with Bergville? I feel we need a number 10 every bit as much as we need a left and striker, yeah? Because for me, if the manager wants to rely on Maddison, then the manager's got a problem. he should be able to already see that Maddison is going to get injured. I mean, we got warned by Wayne, a Leicester City supporter, of what Maddison was all about, and that is what is it, 1.3 or whatever it is he calls him in that.
33%, 33.3.
Yeah, that's it, 33.3. That's the one. 33% he don't play, then he plays excellent, and then he just evaporates. That is literally his story at Spurs. There's been for thirds of the season where he's looked absolutely fucking good, and then there's been times he's just like, are you even here? And then the other time he's just been crippled, basically. And with the two major injuries he's had as well, he's getting an age as well, he's not going to be easy to come back from. So he does not want to be my first choice number 10. Now, if he was fully fit in that, I think anyone would have Maddison as number 10 now. He can do that job good and proper, one of the few that can. Still knows where to pass the ball before it even comes to his feet. But you just know that injury is just sitting there somewhere with him. You just know it. You hope you're wrong, but you just know it. And this is why I feel we need a number 10. I don't think we're going to get a striker. So the number 10 I think we need to go for isn't just necessarily a playmaker. I think we need a bit more of an all-rounder. Now, what I would do, some might say it's a bit OTT on the money, is to the extent that I think we need the player, and I think it's a job that could happen, I'd go and put 90 to 100 million on the books for Morgan Gibbs-White, let them turn their head to it, and then say, do you know what? Have fucking Bergville as well. Now, some would say that sounds crazy. I know. But if you want to get the players you want, you know that they can be right awkward bastards to deal with their man, I think that would be enough to turn anyone's head in their position.
Mate, I think no one needs to say anything to me about that player.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely adore. Outside Spurs, he is my favourite player in the Premier League. I have loved that man.
We spoke about this before when we was going for him.
Yeah, when we spoke last summer, and I was like, I was going over the moon. That to me was, mate, he is my crown jewel of the signing. There isn't a time that I will never say no to Morgan Gibbs-White, ever. I would do whatever it took to get him is what I would do. I think he's sensational. I really do. I absolutely think he is perfect for us. Perfect.
He hasn't got quite the technicality of Maddison, and not as good a passer of the ball as Maddison. But the other thing he does give you is he's not injury prone. He has got technicality and passing, but not on the same level as Maddison. He's got pace on him as well, quick acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the fastest on the long distance, but as a number 10, you need quick. You don't need to have an actual what's the word for it? You just need quick acceleration, basically. You don't have to actually be a first-class sprinter as such. The quick acceleration gets you everywhere. He can hold on to the ball. He can dribble the ball. He can shoot the ball. He's a player that I think we go and put there and play him as not just a playmaker as such, but play him as a pressing number 10 sort of thing. I think he's a man you can get 10, 12 goals out of. That makes
up 15 last season, mate. He got 15.
There you go. So let's call it 15 then. 15
plus assists. Not just that, he has got energy to burn.
Yes,
he's got strength.
Very good engine strength.
Mate,
yes,
he covers every blade of grass. Mate, if put it this way, I'm waiting to get the purple shirt, but I'm waiting till the end of the window to see if we make a signing. If we sign that man, the second he comes, it's ordered.
No, I can imagine on that one. He is a player that I do rate highly, and I think if we get him now, and he goes and bangs us in 15 goals, isn't that part of the problem solved? That
Correct.
We've got that the strikers don't do it.
Correct.
So I'm looking at where I don't think we're going to get strikers that are going to go score more than maybe 12 or 13 goals if we're lucky, and that is lucky. So you've got to get the goals from elsewhere. We can't seem to find someone on the side to do it, so go and get someone behind who can do it. And that's just the way I'm seeing it.
Yep.
I know people have said that the money I'm willing to offer him sounds crazy, but to get what you want these days,
exactly,
you don't get it for free, do you?
We could get Saar Bergvall could go from midfield. Benton Core at a push. Obviously, he has not featured heavily. We know it's mainly going to be Tonali and Fernandes, which I'm very excited to see. Could you imagine if Fernandez and Tonali get that Dembele Wanyama relationship?
Mm.
Then that defence is lock solid. Obviously, with what's in front of them. But I would, if there's a way to make it work and get players out the door, even to go to Forest or to get the funds available, and Spurs can go big again, and I believe they will. They will with Gapco. No, Cody. I can't say his name properly. Cody and Savinho. There's going to be money available, and if they could do player exchanges with Forest plus some cash or whatever, I would be over it all day long.
They've shown that, and Dean Law for the super sticker. Thanks a lot, mate. Much appreciated. We've still got money there, and they have shown interest in Bergville.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know a lot of people would say, well, why make an offer of that to that excrete as such when you could just offer, say, 50 million and 60 million, they say Bergville's worth, and you're 110 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's enough to turn nobody's head. And Forest don't have to turn their head. They've got plenty of money. But then if they want to spend more money, they need more money in. And this is where all this FFP and everything else comes in. This is why I say slap £100 million on the table. They're now looking at how do we change, who've we got to buy now to cover the player.
Mm-hmm.
You go and slam Bergville on now. There's your man who they seem to be half interested in. Yes, it's extortionate prices, but you're getting a very good player out of there. And he's homegrown as well. I think it would kill a few birds with one stone, personally, that one.
All day long. Mate, again, any whiff of Morgan Gibbs White, and I'll start doing cartwheels, and I can't even do cartwheels. I will start learning to do cartwheels because that would be just incredible business. But that around the forward line. Morning, Silly Singularity, brother.
Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear
bring
you.
the camera back on.
Yeah. But Brian, listen.
Bring the camera back on.
Yeah, appreciate it, but mate, there's a reason why I can't.
Okay, fair enough.
Listen, the thing that annoyed me yesterday is that I didn't get on the. I didn't say something else as well that Dan's been talking about quickly because I can only be 2 minutes. Is the goalkeeper, the goalkeeping situation. I'm not happy with it, to be honest with you. I'm not happy with it. I still think I'm seeing a lot. I saw it on Two March show, Lubo saying, "Oh, Kinski had a great game again," and I'm like, "What we doing here?" I think Kinski's done okay, good for what he's doing, but I think I've looked at the goalkeeper that Dan knows from Roma. I think we should be looking at him as well to compete with him. So I do think, I do think we're missing a trick with the goalkeeper. I've got to be honest, because I think the goalkeeper is, as Dan says, I think just having Dubravka is understudy. I think it's just a big mistake for me. I think we're just given free handouts for people because they're just the joy of the day or something like I can't
Alex, you want to talk about Dubravka, but you wanted us to sign Danny Welbeck.
Well, Danny Welbeck's not. But that's a different matter though because we haven't got that many strikers around.
But there's not. Kinski has done incredible. His possession, distribution with the ball is fantastic. Exactly what De Zerbi wants. His shot stopping and reflexes has improved drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the major issue that Spurs need to fix? No, it's the attack. And we will see this season because Kinski will be number one. We all know that, and he's gonna go on and flourish.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
Well, wait. If you let me finish, where I said it's gonna prove to be wrong. Then Spurs will need to address it. But after how he finished last season,
7 games, mate.
7 games. Okay. Well, he only played 7 games. Do you want him to play bad in 7 games?
Well, yeah, but listen.
People play well.
Alex, let Brian say his bit.
People play well in a game or people keep form up and they keep the shirt. If a midfielder, a defender, whatever, is doing very, very well in their position, it's their shirt. The same. He can only play good in 7 games if he only had 7 games. I'd rather he played good in 7 games out of 7 rather than 4 out of 7. Then in pre-season, he's done well. And as I said, he is the exact kind of keeper De Zerbi wants with distribution. He's got Van Hecker and Senesi behind him that are very, very in front of him, sorry. He's now got Tonali. We could disagree that Kinski might not be right for it, but he fits the bill of exactly what Roberto De Zerbi wants. So why is he going to go out and get another and spend more money when he's happy with the goalkeeper he's got?
Yeah, I see. I hear you, right? Like I said, this has to be brief, right? But I'm just saying at the moment, right, that I do think Dan's got a point, right? Because I was on board with Dan for quite a while, yeah. I wish I mentioned it yesterday, but because it was not your fault, it's just that we were all debating and stuff, and I said about the Madison point, and I came off and I completely forgot about the whole thing about Pinsky, because I know them two, Ben and Sim, and you have been banging on about, and Lubo as well. When I said Lubo, I was just like, what are you doing here? You get what I'm saying? Again, easily too pleased. And it's like, for me, I think Dan's got a point about the goalkeeper for Roma, and there's other goalkeepers as well, for me, as well. And another thing as well, I don't like Savinho. I don't like Savinho either. I've got to be honest, because I don't like his attitude at Man City. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think when his going gets tough, he's like sulking. Like I like that Everton player, the winger. You know what I mean? I think that Everton player, that winger, I do like it. But yeah, listen, I wish I could. If you're on more longer, I'll come on later with my camera. But
stop waffling about the goalkeeper, mate.
That's all I've got to say. Yeah.
Stop waffling about the goalkeeper.
I've got to go.
Stop waffling about the goalkeeper.
Dan, it wasn't even me that actually started that one.
I was just gonna say, shut the fuck up about this goalkeeper situation. Danny knows how I feel whenever he fucking brings up this goalkeeping fucking conversation. For fuck's sake, Kinski is number 1. Get used to it. Deal with it, bro.
Dan, I have said.
I know, Dan.
I know.
Yeah.
I have said, and everyone knows that it is one I am definitely worried about. And
I know you are.
Put a thing down by January. I personally feel that by January it's going to be half a fighting tooth and nail for him, and half are going to be fighting. We should have got established.
Look,
I'm totally wrong. I will say totally wrong.
I will say, Dan, I'll hold my hands up if Kinski doesn't turn out the way I think he is, right? And I'll say you were right and I was wrong, right? But I honestly feel I haven't seen a goalkeeper, a young keeper, or 23, whatever he is, come in, right? And for me, I just remember, why I think, now I'm going to say this, right? Just on the last thing I'll say on the keeper, I think Kinski can be one of the best Premier League keepers, right? This season, potentially. The reason I say that is because, first of all, what happened in Madrid, right? That was obviously a really tough thing for a keeper to go through. And
mentality-wise, he was brilliant.
But this is the thing, right? All the fans are saying, "Oh, his career's finished." I mean, come on, it's fucking one game. What are we doing here? Anyway, after that game, right, he came in to probably the most pressurized environment at that time in the end of the season, where a club of Tottenham Hotspur's standard and level is in a relegation battle, and he came in and performed at the highest level that he's performed at during his time at Spurs, given the chance, right? So he could have crumbled, right, and done far worse, but he actually excelled, right?
Yes.
Also, just by what I saw in the defenders, right, when I was in the stadium watching those games, he made the defense confident, right? And everyone in the stadium literally could feel the confidence that Kinski was giving the team, right? They trusted him with the distribution, with the ball at the feet. They felt confident. They didn't feel like, oh fuck, we got flappy hands Vicario in goal that he's going to fuck up every time he does something. So and for me, I have not felt that from the fans inside the stadium for a very, very long time with the goalkeeper. Probably since Hugo Lloris's heyday, right? When he was in his prime. For me, just based on that, I genuinely feel the trust in De Zerbi in Kinski, and from what I'm seeing, he's looked like he's gonna. For me, I think he's going to be one of the best keepers in the Premier League.
Good.
I think he's got that potential in him.
You look at it very quickly,
And
guys.
also, Brian, just to say, I know I hate doing this and I never like doing this, but Petr Cech has said this kid is special, right? He has said this before, and this is Petr Cech we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Messi said Romero was the best defender ever.
We look at
Yeah, but they're just friends, aren't they?
yeah,
they're just friends.
You look at it with Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford came into Sunderland as a very, very, very young keeper.
I think he's an underrated keeper, Brian.
Hey, this is what I'm saying. He makes mistakes. Goalkeepers are going to make mistakes.
Of course they are.
You know what? He's been a brilliant goalkeeper for Everton. He's been a very good goalkeeper
And
for England.
England.
Exactly. So
Yeah, for England,
Spurs.
goalkeepers are going to have their off days, and unfortunately, when they do
course.
make mistakes, there's no one there to cover them.
It stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't it?
Exactly.
When the goalkeeper fucks it up.
You know what I mean? Anyone else on the pitch that you've got a chance that your teammates are going to sort you out. You make a howler as a goalkeeper, it's goal. It's a simple. So you just got to look at Vicario's one against Fulham when he ran out and it was an open goal and what's his name? Wilson put it in. He's going to make a couple of mistakes. He's going to make.
Well, he did at Chelsea, didn't he? He did at Chelsea last season, end of last season. It was, you know what I mean, Brian?
Yeah,
so he will.
Put this point over then. Go on, Brian, if you got something.
No,
go on, Brian. Sorry.
Young goalkeepers are going to make big mistakes, and the thing we've got to learn is if he does make a little mistake, they're going to bounce back for it. It's what you learn from your mistakes, and if he makes a couple of mistakes, I'm not saying like at the start of the season, he's going to make mistakes in his career. Every single Courtois makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Ederson, Alisson, they make mistakes, but they're fucking great goalkeepers. I'm not comparing Kinski to those two goalkeepers right at the top.
Look at Hugo Lloris in a World Cup final that they won. He made a mistake.
They make mistakes on the biggest games, and I just think, I mean, even if you look at that save he made against Chelsea in the pre-season friendly, his reflexes of
it's ridiculous.
And the goalkeeper with Otto or whatever his name is about his angles, he's getting a lot better. So I'm going to put my faith and trust behind him. And like we said, he's either going to do really, really well, or he's going to make a mistake, and there's going to be an absolute. But if this guy can show, do you know what? I wish Spurs players over the last 2 years had shown the mental toughness he did after Atletico Madrid, and then coming in.
100%.
The whole team could have learned from him from that, because what he came back and did was great. But like I said, he'll make mistakes, but I think that he's going to turn into be a very, very good goalkeeper for Tottenham.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
The question I'll have on it then, with that, as I say, I've got no personal problem. Everyone seems to think that when you don't rate a player in that, you wish death on him and his family. Basically.
Yeah, Dan, stop it.
You know what I mean? It's like, no, I just don't rate a player. I'm sorry. And for me, he's not established enough. But there's a different side to this story, Brian. And maybe this is more me not explaining it enough on why it's almost pissing me off that he is in goal. There is another side to the story, and it's not actually just him. It's the fans. As all I've heard since I've been doing YouTube, nearly 3.5 years been doing this now, for fuck's sake, nearly 3.5 years, is we are a big club. And everyone knows my opinion on a big club, and I love to portray it a certain way because I know other people just can't not argue it. It's amusing.
You said it was the biggest club, right?
Everybody knows that I say big clubs win leagues. I understand we're a big club, we're not an elite club. It's just sometimes I put it the wrong way and people bite too easy. But my whole point is, we're this big club. We want Enoch to spend money. We want Levy out. Right, he's gone. Mm-hmm. We want to spend £100 million on players. Done. Mm-hmm. We want to buy. Was he worth 100 million? Not the point. We know we got to spend the money. Yep. We want proven players. We want quality players. We want to get back up into that top 5. Well, top 5 now, basically, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We want to start being good fit. We want to start attracting big players. We've got to do this. We've got. He's had 5 games. That's perfect. Yeah, he can do well. Yeah, give him a chance. Brian, does that not contradict everything that a majority of Spurs fans preach about?
It does. But what I will say on that is we want to bring quality in, and I keep going back to excuse me. I keep going back to Dele Alli. Now, Dele Alli had the quality. He was a star. He was a maverick. He had that confidence in himself.
He landed on his feet.
when he landed on his feet, when we landed on his feet, he landed on his feet because when he came in, he has 10 quality players around him.
Yeah,
So if he was having a poor,
yeah,
if he was having a poor game, he'd have Wanyama and Dembele behind him to mop up.
yeah.
He'd have Ericsson in front of him, Sonny on the left, and obviously he and Toby and Walker and Rose. He had absolute pure quality around him, so they could teach him through the game. They could coach him through the game. I don't mind having what I've wanted Spurs to do for ages. What we've done the last few years is we've just invested in youth and gone, off you go. Rather than buying seasoned pros like a Paulinho or Tonali, like or Van Hecker, like we're doing, we've just bought young guy in a couple of years. Those players will be great. And gone, off you go.
Like Arsene Wenger's dream.
It's like, off you go. There you go. Why not just bring them through? Just bleed one or two in around the first team. Around the first team, Dan, because even in Carabao Cups or even in the Conference League when we did it, we just rested all the first teamers and said, all right, youngsters, you take care of this. We're like one or two first teamers around him. If he has a core around him, like you look at that defence we just said. Let's just say he's going back four that we did against Brentford, but let's just say it's Porro or instead of Archie Gray, whether it will when it's back. But you look at that back line with Andy Robertson with all of his experience and everything, Van Hecker, Senesi and Porro, that's already a lot sharper. Then you put Tonali in front of them. So with the odd youngster, I've got no problem with it. But you're right, Dan. You're right. The fans have said everything, and I'm part to blame of that. But that's why this season
It's your fault, Brian.
No, mate. Listen,
it is very contradicting, isn't it? It is very.
It is, but like I said, Dan, when you put it the way I said, like with Dele Alli, if you've just got obviously it's a goalkeeper, it's very different. We just spoke about it. If it's just one youngster, or let's just say it is Archie Gray as the right, that's 2 out of 9.
But
you can
also,
say probably, but you know what I mean. It's not 5, 6, 7 of them in the team.
Yeah.
To like
also, Brian, when you look at like Kinski, he's 23 years old, so in a way he's more of a sort of he's not really a youngster anymore. He's still a young player, right? But this is the time now where a keeper should really start showing what they can do. So I think that this is his time now. So if he wants to be a professional keeper at Premier League level, then this is the chance he's got. And also the fact that the most important thing is that the manager sees how good he is, but still thinks he's got so much more that he can improve on. So the fact that he believes in him and sees that, right? Then it's up to the player to deliver what the manager believes in, right? And if he doesn't, we know what's going to happen. Next summer, if he has a terrible season, right, either in January or in the summer, they'll look for another one. That's what they'll do. So I think that he's not, like everyone has said. If you ask people what do we need in our team, right? No one is going to say like if you said what's the top 3 positions we need right now in our team, not one person is going to sit there and tell you we need a goalkeeper, and that's why the goalkeeper is not focused on because of that, because we have far more important things to worry about. And I think Kingsley can do a job because we might if we get in free attackers, right? We get in Cody Gakpo, just say we get Savinho and we get I don't know, Mikatadze, right? Just for example. If you get those players in, then who knows what the possibilities are this season, because they're all very good players, right? Technically gifted players, but at the same time, we don't know how fast they're going to bond together and all this kind of stuff. And so there's so many variables into how a season can go. But the fact is that if they have that sort of team, they can go for the highest possible achievement they can try and get this season, whatever that is, right? And then they go again, and that's what I want to see. I don't want to see them stop. I want to see them keep improving. Like I want to see them do exactly what Arsenal have done. That's the blueprint they got to follow. If they want to win a Premier League, they got to follow that blueprint. Where when they get to that, Stell goes on about it all the time, and I do agree with him. Right, when we get to that stage, what's that?
I know what bit you mean. I was
yeah.
You.
No, I know. Like when we get to that, I think all of us probably understand this as well. Like when we get to that, because I think all of us probably feel that De Zerbi with the backing, he's going to make us a top team again, right? Like a challenging top 5 team, right? He will make us that. I have no doubt in that, right? But it's when we get to that level consistently and then we need to go that one extra player. Now we've gone and spent 100 million on Talali. My belief, or my hope is that when we get to that level, we then go and do the same. We'll go and get 120 million pound superstar, and then take us to the next level to then try and win the title or win. Do you know what I mean? That's where I want to see what they've got. But they've got to keep going in the same type of way, because at the moment they're looking like they've done really good business, but still it's not done yet. And I still think they'll sign 3 players.
With the good business, I mean, the last I say on the goalkeeper, yeah.
No more, Dan.
Sees their football different, but for me, if I'm building the team, the first thing I get out there is a goalkeeper. The first thing I want is that solid goalkeeper that commands everything and is proven that he can get me 10 to 12 points a season. But that's
but you know what? You're right with Martinez.
That's the last I'll say on it.
No, what I'll say with Martinez, you're right, but he only really came into prominence when they sold him to Villa, because he couldn't get into the Arsenal team.
Yeah,
and he had a couple of games in the Arsenal team, and then they said
he was good though. He was good, Brian, when he played.
He was good when he played for Arsenal. I can't remember the goalkeeper who was he fighting for the number 1 jersey with at the time. Well, it weren't Raya. It was
no, Sky.
No, it was the one before,
Leno?
wasn't it?
Leno, was it?
Leno, that's exactly who it was. Leno, that's exactly who it was, Danny. But then they got rid of him, and Arsenal fans must be thinking, "What the hell did we do?" Now they got Raya, and they're very happy.
Yeah, but they got rid of the better keeper because they realised it then.
Oh, a million percent. Yeah. But he has done outstanding at Villa. But if Arsenal hadn't signed, he would have just been sitting there on the sidelines.
And he was at Arsenal for like 10 years or some shit like that, wasn't it? A long time.
And obviously, he's decided to leave the show. He's left his own show.
Oh, sorry, we got this, Brian.
we got
like Tottenham Hotspur reunited.
Exactly, but what it is with the goalkeeper, I agree. You need a very, very strong goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I agree, Dad. It's a very, 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 very vital position. But even at the end of the season, you and I spoke about this as well. I was like, I don't see the goalkeeper being the big issue. Where there was so much,
the biggest problem.
There was so much.
I do understand that.
I think they would have targeted a keeper if Kinski did really shit in that last 7 games, right? I think they would have targeted a keeper, but I think because of the whole situation, look, you can see De Zerbi loves him. Like De Zerbi really likes him a lot.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing you want, right? When you're a player, you want your manager to have full belief and faith in you, and to give you more confidence and motivation. And when you've got that, it allows you to brings out the best in a player. So I think we're going to see Kinsey go up another level or 2 this season. Personally,
let's hope he does. It'll be by January that I'll start judging him. I won't judge a player on a bloody game or not, and we'll see where it goes from there. I just hope he lands on his feet and it goes right. I don't want him to fail. I just have I'm not 100% keen on it.
Also, I would say on the Vicario thing, I don't give a fuck how much we get rid of these players for. Like, all I see is people online moaning, right? I'm sorry. Number 1, it's not your fucking money, right? So pipe down, right? Number 2, everyone moans about getting these players out, and then when it's like 10 million less than what we could get for him or something, they moan, right? It's typical football fans, typical Spurs fans, right? But at the end of the day, like Brian Daigle said, it's removed another spot, a foreign player spot in the squad, which is the most important thing right now, right? That's another thing that's stopping Spurs bringing in players as well. People might not want to think it is, but it is, right? So they have to get rid of players. Of course, they can bring in players and do like what Chelsea does, and then have 41 fucking players that you have to think who's going to be selected, right? But Tottenham are not doing it like that. They're not doing it like Chelsea. They're doing it in the right way. And I think Rafi, who's come in from Man City, I think is instrumental into how we've been doing our deals this summer, because it's completely different, right? So for me, I think it's a great deal, right? And if he does well at Juventus, look, they'll either buy him or someone else in Italy will buy him, because you do well at a club like Juventus, people are going to be interested in you. So it's a win-win, in my opinion. Get rid of him. I'm glad that he's gone. Flappy Hands is finally gone. So yeah, good luck to him.
I mean, the other thing is, Dan.
Thank you for the Europa League as well. That's it.
Me and Brian said it earlier. You've agreed with me with it before. that half these players we're going to have to take an excessive kick in the bollocks to selling them.
100%.
Not there's about 3 of the players through the whole squad that you could go for, maybe 4, that you could say justify asking for more money, and Romero was not one of them. You could say Van der Ven, possibly Porro, Spence, yes, because we got him cheap, and Bergvall, yes, because we got him cheap. Archie Gray, you wouldn't sell Archie Gray for 40 million. You'd be lucky if you got 20 mil for him.
Okay.
No, that's rubbish. I don't agree with that.
You would not get 40 mil for him over the way he's played over the past 2 years. He's been complete.
I think it's debatable. I think
Okay,
that's debatable. You
What,
can get
do you
50
reckon
million.
you'd get the 10 million on the homegrowns for him? You reckon you'd get that extra bit on
I
the
think
homegrown?
Archie Gray's a good player. I don't think he's a shit player.
But he hasn't been good. He has not been good.
Yeah,
at
but
Spurs.
look how De Zerbi talks about him. He's made him captain all the games in pre-season.
Okay,
He says he's a future
Harry
captain.
talks about him. Forget Harry.
Yeah, but Dan, you can see he's improving. He's a good young player.
He also turned around, and again, I don't care about friendlies, Dan. Yeah, past 2 seasons, Gray has been shit. Period.
He hasn't been shit. He's
He's
not been shit.
He's been terrible.
No, he's not been that shit, Dan.
Dan, you know what?
Sar's been shit. Sar's been shit.
And
Sar's
so was
done
Gray.
nothing.
And
Dan,
so
you know
was
what it is
Gray.
with this? With this one, whenever you say Archie Gray, it really, really splits opinions, and it dominates the show, and then becomes a row over Archie when there's so much
Exactly.
other going
That's
on.
why I was just
What
naming other ones.
I wanted to bring up as well, when we're talking about players out, players in, well, you've got to remember another thing De Zerbi did this season, which doesn't get talked enough, because obviously it was a similar times when Ben Davies signed, and the whole world went mad about that. What De Zerbi does differently as well is what Spurs normally do is when they've got that year extension, they take it to hope they can get some goddamn money for the player and then loan him out or whatever. We had that chance with Basuma.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, no, get that player out the club.
Yeah.
He's not, and it's not spoken about enough. He would have been on a okay wage. Or
He was a problem.
He was a problem. And instead of going, you know what, yeah, we'll extend it, like Spurs predominantly do, whether we like the player or not with 1 year, and then we try and get money or we ship them out on loan with options. But I don't know, let's not waste the wages. Let's not take that year. Let's get him out the goddamn door.
Yep.
And obviously that got taken over with all the Davies talk. But that's another player off the books that's gone. And again, could have caused an atmosphere around the training ground. It's all going.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like players. I suppose you can say put it aside to everything, yeah? Because 9 out of 10 players who played for us were shit, yeah? So give them a new look at it. I mean, me for Basuma, I was gutted about, because when he's actually on his day, Basuma is as good as many midfields out there. Very, very good player. He just did not have the mentality for it. He was more bothered about getting geared up in his car, for God's sake, and getting pictures taken. That is not somebody you need at your club, is it? You know,
I remember, no one's taken him on a free, Dan. No one has taken him on a free.
You know what? If he went round the corner and fucked off in the toilet and done his bit of gear and got on with it, I don't care. If he wants to do it hanging out the car window, more mug him in that aspect.
Do you know, guys?
Done him no favours.
We've got I think it's like a. Hold on, let me check before how much it is. But I think it's like go on, Dan, go on.
I wanted to ask Brian, because I haven't actually been able to ask you this one yet. Yeah,
go on, bro.
What did you think on the Romero deal? Because I haven't actually been able to speak to you about this one.
Absolutely. What I said with same as with Luka Vuskovic. Do you remember we got rid of Vuskovic and everyone was going nuts, and it was like, oh, every team wanted him on loan. Loan being the objective word. And then as soon as I was like, no, the only way you're getting him is you buy him. All of a sudden, all these big clubs that wanted him and raved about him, they didn't want to put the money up for the hottest prospect in Europe for a defender. Brighton were there. It was time for Ramirez to go. It was absolutely the right time for him, for the club, and we knew the writing was on the wall when we bought Van Heckeren. I mean, when a Spurs got to spend £52 million on a player with 1 year of his contract, and that was an essential one for De Zerbi for obvious reasons. It got to the point where my final straw for him, Dan, was that game we lost 3-0 to Forest, and he jogged back for the second goal.
Yes.
That was, and there's been a few things where he's done really, really good, but there's been a few things that he's done abysmally. And the fact that he was down on the floor trying to get a foul, and then when he didn't get the foul, he just literally did a light jog back like when you're just going for a little jog around the park or something. There was no intent. There was no. That was it. That was like, right, he enough of him. And then obviously the whole going over to Argentina for his club over there before the World Cup and before our game against Everton. It was absolutely the right time. It was always going to be abroad, wasn't it? It might have been Inter, but it looked like that was hot air. And he wanted Spain. And Atletico, exactly. Atletico have been the one constant team mentioned, doesn't it? The whole time it's Atletico.
It suits him, doesn't it?
The manager suits him to a T. He goes there, obviously, absolutely no language barrier. He'll be speaking Spanish again non-stop. It's just the perfect fit for the club, for him, and we close that chapter. I've got no qualms with the fee whatsoever. And again, he's another player where all these big clubs want him and he'll be great and he'll do well and any club will be lucky to have him. But it took Inter piping up and then obviously Atletico came in. No other club. I mean, the Arsenal stuff was all nonsense. Utter nonsense.
I wouldn't have complained with him going there.
Mate, it would have spiced that derby up, mate. I mean,
we've been able to handle him.
Mate, you've already got to look at it. The North London derby was already a spicy affair. Now you've got Tonali against Guimaraes, which is going to be a little bit spicy with them too. But yeah, I think
he went to his perfect club. I think he has
Dan, you're right.
Where a manager he might actually have respect for or should have.
Agreed.
And also the same country link up and whatever else you want to call it and that. I think you might actually have a club there where you will see some consistency out of him and an overall better player. And maybe he's at a club where he doesn't think his bollocks are bigger than the club might help as well. But
yes,
we shall
Simeone won't allow that, will he?
But if there's anybody out there that can get him as such under a bit of professional control, I would say Simeone is the main man out there to do that with, isn't it?
Completely.
I mean, the next one that's going about keeps popping up here, there, and everywhere. This one, I'm not so will it happen, because if it does, then we've definitely got places we need to fulfill. Roma are meant to be pushing quite hard for a Dogi now. I can honestly see that one being realistic, because in Italy, a Dogi was he was good until he came over here and started getting injury prone. He wouldn't cost a lot of money, and Roma in the Champions League doing well for themselves now, but still broke when it comes to the money side. Can you see anything happening with Udogie, or are we keeping him? I would say we're keeping him, but there's a lot of rumours that keep coming through at the moment.
Go on, Dan. Is it okay? He's gone. Look, Dan,
sorry. Were you asking me a question?
Oh, I'll go and then
go on,
obviously you got to pay attention when you're on a panel show and get asked a question, Dan. That's the general idea of it. But Destiny, I think when he's fit, I think he's one hell of a player. I really do. But we know he just cannot stay fit. He just cannot do it. Now, the one shining hope that I've got is, you know how they got Van der Ven to change his running style, and last season he hardly missed a game. Now, obviously, with De Zerbi and with his medical staff and everything, is there a way they can find a way to stop these injuries happening? We don't know. If he stays this season and he carries on like he has, inconsistent with game time, then we've got to sell him next summer or January, even if he's doing what. But I honestly believe if we can find the key to keeping him fit a hell of a lot more than he's injured, I think we've got a really good player there. But that's the big question, Dad. Can he stay fit?
Exactly. I mean, with the Van der Ven bit, I think the reason you saw a lot less trouble off of him, yes, the training helped for him, but I think it was where we played a different style of play as well. I mean, Angie's style of play, for anybody who has to run back from the halfway line 10, 20 times in a game at a full sprint, is going to fuck up anyone's hamstrings, yeah? Even Terminator an issue with that. But Dan, what do you reckon that with Udogie, Roma being very, very interested?
I mean, I wouldn't be disappointed if he left, because he's never fit, right? He's never available. So, I mean, if we were to sell him, we'd have to have someone lined up. So I don't really care if he goes or not, because I think he's overrated at the moment in England. I think when he was in Italy, he was far better. But it depends. If De Zerbi if the Zerbi wants to keep him, I think the Zerbi can make him into a much better wing back, and you'll see more of the Adogi that you saw Udinese. But the problem with him is that he just never fit. Like, he plays one game and he's out for 3 weeks. Plays another game or 2 games, he's out for another 3 weeks. It's like he can't get consistency, and that's his biggest problem. So, would I be happy if Spurs sell him? I don't really care, to be honest. But as long as we get someone who is a decent replacement, a good enough replacement. So for me, yeah, I don't really mind. I don't really mind, to be honest.
Because
I mean,
Robertson ain't gonna do that full season. You know, there's going to be an
I
injury
know.
or two in there. Now.
Exactly. So you do need to have someone else in, right? And the problem is, if Robertson and Nadogi are both out, who's the left back? Like, is it going to be Van der Ven? Is it going to be Van der Ven left back, right?
Ben Davis.
Yeah, probably will be. You're probably right.
We got to remember Poch used to rotate the wingers, didn't he? When it was Davies and Rose and Trippier and Walker, there were times where, like, right, you need a rest. You need to. I'm not saying that these 4 that we have now are that quality, but we know that fullbacks now do so much more in a game than they used to do, that we need a bit of dependability, and that is where Destiny could be an issue.
Yeah, and I think Brian as well. Like with Destiny, like I do think there is potential in there, right? He has got the ability to go up levels with the right coaching. I think De Zerbi would be the perfect coach for him, to be honest, right? I do, but again, it's whether or not they can overcome these injury issues, and if they can do that with him, then the sky's the limit for what he can do. Because I think he's strong, he's powerful, he's quick, right? I think he's not a bad defender. He's not the best, but he's not a bad defender. But I think he does need to work a lot more on his attacking ability as well, because he hasn't really done a lot of assists or things like that when he has been fit. And I think again, it's all down to the consistency. He just can't get a run of games, and in any player, you need to have a run of games in order to start getting confidence more in your ability and momentum in your performances, right? So I think that's what's been the biggest problem for him, which is why I want to see him do well. I think we all want to see him do well. We all want to see him.
We know
not
he's
injured.
got technicality. We know.
Yeah,
we know
he's got ability.
he can
You can see he's got potential. He's got ability. He's
Just
got all the
fragile.
Yeah, he's got all the characteristics, Dan, of what you'd look for in a top like left wing back in modern football, right? Like, if with the right coaching. But again, how much is he going to be able to be coached, because he's never fucking fit?
Yeah, and every time he seemed to come fit, whoever was on that side got dropped, didn't it, straight away? So obviously every manager has seen something in him or saw something in Spence they didn't like. It's a tricky one for me, because if we go and get rid of a doggy as well, then for me that's another position we maybe have to cover.
Now, then it's like people say in the chat, and I think it would be, if we get rid of him, the idea might be Van der Ven and Robertson, or Van der Ven there when Robertson's not going to play. And I think one of the best bits of business we've done this window is Senesi. I honestly think on a free,
I like Senesi a lot.
Honestly, mate, just his passing ability and I think it's a great bit of business. And like someone said, I don't think he's coming here just to sit on the bench. But this is the thing. This is what we're going to embrace as Spurs fans this season. I would say in that midfield at the moment, as in centrally, and in the back 4, there is genuine fight for positions. There's genuine competition. It's how many years have we had it that if our top players had a shit game, you're still playing. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah. That's always been the problem for us,
because you're the player that we need. Whereas right now they're all coming into training, and that defensive 4 are going to be like, I think Van der Ven and Van Hecker will be the main 2, but they know that Leslie and Danso are going to be there making their life difficult in training to say, no, you pick me, you pick. There's going to be genuine what we've lacked, competition for places in that centre midfield. And as we speak right now, obviously the front line we need to address, but I think in those 2 positions there is genuine competition for places, and players are going to go in not thinking, oh, they got a free ride and they're going to play whenever they want.
Can I ask you boys a question on that, right? Do you think then there's a possibility that we might go to a back three in certain games, because I've got a feeling that De Zerbi is going to be he's going to have like his favoured formation, which I think is what he usually plays. Like either he's 4-3-3 or he's 4-2-3-1, right? But I think he will play quite a bit as well, three at the back. And if that is going to be the case, then who do you think would be the three at the back, like in terms of what right side, what centre, and left side?
With what we've got at the moment, I mean, I've been saying this for 2 years with Spurs now. On paperwork, this team is built for three at the back.
Yeah.
And if you take the injuries out of it as such, well, with the injuries we've got, should I say, this team is still built for three at the back on paper. Now, so many people say, I don't like three at the back, it don't work in the Premier League. Well, that's bollocks.
Yeah.
It's all out.
Chelsea won a title with that.
No, and plus, with three at the back, you can play the most attacking football you wish, if you wish to play that way. We haven't got wingers at the moment. We've got nobody on the right. We've got one person on the left. There's another one for you. That's a hit and hope. What do we do? So it would make common sense for him to start playing from the start of the season, for me, with a three at the back. And then put it a 4 or a 5 in midfield, or 3-4-2-1, or whatever way they want to do it. Okay, so say we go for a 3-4-2-1. I think we all know who the back would be. On the left, Van der Ven. On the right, Van Hecke. And then who would we put in the middle? Would it be Senesi? I'd say Senesi will start in the middle. Personal opinion. I suppose you could piss ball about with them as much as you like. But then with that, you got your wing back with Porro, who can go charging up the side and get the cross in and got the stamina. You got Robertson on the left, a little bit slower, but can cross that ball with more pinpoint accuracy than anyone else in our team. There you go. That's that bit built with Tonali and Fernandes in midfield. Looks quite solid, actually, that team, doesn't it? Actually looks like quite a good team on paper. I'd say that looks like, if you just add that bit, I'd say that looks like a team that can fight for a top 6 place.
But Dan, sorry.
Then we have this problem. Striker, Richarlison or Solanke. Who do you want, Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse? I don't know. You know, either way.
Sweetie pie up front right now, let alone blue.
You know what? Either way, tell you what I'd do. Where is it? I'm sure I've still got one lane here. So I don't know. The wife must have been. No, she didn't. Here you go. But that's the easiest way to do it with them two. Stick a bloody pound on the floor and flick it. Richarlison ended up on it, and so Richarlison's up front. Then it's the question of who goes in behind him. You know. Then you've got what, Gallagher, and the only options you've got is, that's where it gets funny, isn't it?
Yep.
Do you have Gallagher as your charging 10? And if Maddison's fit, which he seems to be at the moment, then Maddison goes there as well. Or do you just put Maddison there and play with Solanke and Richie?
No.
Up until the middle, up until it starts going into the attacking part, the team is made there for a three at the back, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dan, but what you like said, with Dan asking that question, the good thing is with the back three, I'm just looking at this defensively, and again, thank God there are options to play there. I can't remember what we did with Ange. Was Ange we played a back four and then we went to a back three against Everton away and we got battered? Or was it the other way round? We played a back four?
No. We played a back four, went back three against Everton, got battered in 20 minutes.
Literally the one where Radu Dragusin was like walking the bride down the aisle for Ndai's goal. Here you go, just walk this way. Just walk this way. I generally think when we've seen it with other managers, when we've gone to a back three, and it's not the manager's known tactic or whatever, we're just putting players in there for the sake of playing, of just having three at the back. It's like, right, we've got three defenders, let's play them there. They may not be used to it. There's genuine options. That's the good thing about what we saw with this defence. There is genuine options of what you could do. Mate, if we've got a really pacey, tricky winger, you could put a different player there. If it's one that's got brute force and strength, you put a Robertson there, obviously, with what he's got there. There are just genuine options to even say, right, these opponents are a threat let's say down the wing or whatever, or in midfield, let's overload them. There's genuine options. And we'll see when the window shuts, Dan. Both Dan's actually. We'll see if that front line is addressed. If you let's just say you had a Gakpo and Savinho to that, then playing two up top in a 3-5-2 suddenly looks different. It looks a lot different to what we've got. But we should that part we'll see. But I think if he does go back three, whether he goes back three or back four, for the first time in ages, I'm actually confident with any combination he plays of players in either the back three or a back four.
Also, boys, just so you know, Sizzy's just put a post out a minute ago saying that Tottenham have rejected a bid from Everton for Richarlison, offer deemed below the valuation. 29-year-old understood to be open to a return. Apparently, the offer was because I think Tottenham want around 35 million for him. So yeah, I think it was under what they want, right?
Yeah,
which
apparently Everton has. What I saw is Everton were linked around 15-20, and we wanted 35-40. I would snap your hand at 20.
So would I. But the problem is, Brian, right now, in this current state, you wouldn't, because at this moment in time, I think Richarlison's our best striker.
Oh no,
because he's the only striker.
That's
what I mean, though. But we can't sell a striker when we need more.
Oh no,
we cannot sell any striker right now until we get more in.
Yeah,
like,
I'm taking that value. If Spurs have something lined up, and like we've spoken private, I genuinely
you sell Richarlison. Sorry, go on, Brian. Sorry.
No, I genuinely believe Spurs are working on something big for the striker. Forget the wingers, and
Osimhen.
I'm going to use a very, very silly analogy on the right channel to do it on, isn't it, Dan? To use a wild analogy,
you
can say whatever the fuck you want, Brian.
No, but I'm saying,
welcome here.
No, what I'm saying is, with EastEnders sometimes where there's the whodunits and they have 6 different actors and they don't tell which actor it's going to be till literally they go live. I literally think there is something going on at Tottenham that Rafi Mawson and maybe Vinay or Vivian and Charlie. I think they've kept this so under wraps. I genuinely believe when it comes to the striker, they are working on something. I don't know the player. I don't know.
Do you think it could be Morgan Gibbs White and Bergvall going the other way?
Mate, don't do this to me. Don't literally don't get me going. But
it could be though. That could be the bomber, another bomber.
Mate, I like I said, I think you mentioned it on this show. I've wanted as number one for the summer only because I didn't think Osimhen and all these big ones would have been Spurs talk, or sorry, Spurs nonsense and the same old. But this window has obviously shown different with spending the money. I said at the end of the window, my number one pick was Guirassy. Obviously, he's not going to be. He would be a bomber, but he's not going to be the big jaw-dropping mega amount of money paid for him. So I think Spurs are working very, very hard on a striker. Just no one knows. And if Spurs are far down the line with that, if my thoughts are right, then maybe they can sell him because they know this one is so far down the line. But you're right, Dan. I wouldn't sell him before there was one in.
Mm.
I mean, we definitely need one there. That's for sure. We definitely need one there because if we go and lose another striker and then we've only got Solanke there and then it'll go tits up, then you'll look at it and say maybe we shouldn't have sold Lancashire, which I don't think was a bad idea selling Lancashire in any means or manner. 20 million for the fella was, I'm taking that. As long as I know there's a deal down the line as such, because otherwise it would have been more intelligent to keep him as such.
Also,
and now, you sort of look at it and you're a bit like, what the fuck do we do?
Well,
I mean,
also,
for me, if someone put 15 million down, sorry, for Richie, I'd be, there you go, mate. I'll pay, you know what? He can have an Uber cab off me. There you go. Fuck off. But we need to have that person there, that striker there. If he goes, we can't have just Solanke there. Not a chance.
Well, also, because at this rate, it's like Solanke, they both got injury issues, right? Solanke is, at this moment in time, is worse than Richarlison with injuries, right? So it'd be really difficult to actually get it'd be difficult to get to sell him without having at least one or two more come in, right? Like at least one player who's an actual striker and one player who's like a versatile forward, right? Who could play as a number 10 or play in a wing as a winger or play as a striker, centre forward type role, false nine. Um, Look, I understand why Tottenham have rejected it. As much as all of us would just say, "Yep, take the money and go," I think there's when an offer comes in for a player, right? You have to look at your situation. You have to look at the variables of if a deal is worthwhile, right? And I think, right, the reason why Spurs have rejected it, as much as all of us would sit here and say, "Yeah, take 20 million for him," which I would as well, right? But at this moment in time, I wouldn't take 30 million for him because only because we haven't got anyone else in yet. If Tottenham were going to bring in two forwards who could play, like I was just saying, then I would say, yeah, take 20 million for him, right? But look, I still believe Osimhen is the one we're going to go for. I still believe that. I think that if Everton, I think Tottenham would accept a bid if they had Osimhen signed and delivered, sort of thing. Like they'd say, "All right, I'll tell you what, we'll take 25 million for him or something like that," right? But again, like if you look at what Tottenham sold Lancashire for, 20 million, you have to look at that and think, well, as much as people don't like Richarlison, he will score you goals, right? He might not score a lot of goals, but he'll at least get you a minimum of 10 goals in a season. Now, for a club like Everton, that could be the difference of them, like he's done before, them surviving in the Premier League or not. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for some of Richie's goals last season, we might not be in the Premier League, right? So, but it just goes to show that where his level is. And Richie's just one of those frustrating players that with Richie, right, in the box, if you put it to him in the box, he's a decent finisher, right? He can put the ball in the back of the net. The problem with Richie is, and I think Dan, you've said this before, if he's 1-on-1, right, he's gonna fucking miss, right? He's gonna fucking miss because he's just shocking. Yeah, he's shocking, right? He needs the ball played to his feet in the box, in the 18-yard area, right? And if you put the ball on a plate for him, 1 time out of 4, he'll put it in the net, right? I'd say 1 time out of 4. Right, he does miss chances that he should put in the back of the net, but he's not. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, he's not Harry Kane. But with the team that De Zerbi's building, I think Richarlison will get more chances, right? But the problem is that he's just not good enough in his overall play, which is why we want him gone, right? Which is probably why De Zerbi, if Solanke was fit, he'd be the number 1 striker. So, look. I would sell Richarlison only once we sign another striker. I would not sell Richarlison and gamble and then go for an Osimhen or someone like that, right, for example, and then you don't get him and then you're fucked because you don't have any other option. Right?
That would be the safe way round, basically.
Yeah.
I don't do.
What do you boys think? What do you boys think?
Well, one thing I want to go back to before Richie talk is with Lancashire. What Spurs again have done well this window is every single youngster that's gone, there's a buyback clause. Yeah. So should they bag it and do well? What was if Lancashire stayed? I didn't want him to go. I think there is a striker there, but obviously he's gone, and you can't turn that money down that Middlesbrough got. He goes to Middlesbrough, who they should be challenging for at least the playoffs, if not automatic promotion every season. If he goes and bangs it out there, comes up into the Premier League, and then has another good year in the Premier League, then you're like, okay, buyback, bang, done. And they've done that with all the youngsters, Phillips. So again, a bit of smart business. Richard, I'm with that. You can't. How many times have we gone for a player right near the end of the window just for it to collapse? There is no striker. I'd play a 3-legged rocking horse right over Solanke. A 3-legged rocking horse over Solanke, and I think it'll be in more better positions than he gets into, and probably stay fitter. So we're saying that we need strikers, and then we're going to go sell our only one we've got fit before one comes in. I'm completely open to selling him. I'm completely open to him going to Everton or wherever it may be. but I don't want it to come back that we end the window, he's gone, and it's right. Let's just say it was Osimhen, whether it is or not, and then it collapsed. Let's just say a Dybala episode. Then we are in deep shits forward wise. Deep shit. So he should go. He should go. But I do think, like Dan said, we need to get a replacement in first.
Yeah, I can agree with that one on that aspect. It's hard to say it basically, but on a logical side, he is right. You're both right. I mean, there's that other logical side, like, I don't know, there's a big hole in the back garden and I've got some concrete as well. Maybe you disappear that way. But in that aspect, the logical way to look at it is you can't just have one striker there. You can't.
No.
So if that means that we have to keep Richarlison in that aspect because we can't get a striker, then we definitely need to make sure that we get that number 10 and that left winger who can put in 10 goals apiece and make up for what they can't. Because one thing with Richie, I can't take it away from him. He's probably the second best player at our club mentality-wise, along with Porro, at wanting to win a game.
Yeah.
He will give you 110, and this is not that I rate him by any means or manner, but he will give you 110% every game you can. And same as Porro will. I feel there's too many other players on that team, the way they've been over the past 2 years, that get too moody, get too bitchy with things. And that is one thing he has got. But the consistency is few and far between because he just, every time the ball touches his foot, it comes about 6 yards off his left foot or right foot. He's got no bloody ball control. He don't seem to know what he's doing after bloody time. One way or another, if we get a bid of 15 mil for him, I would take it as long as I know we have got another one literally 100% that's coming through or has come through as such. We can't afford to go. The fact that we're even debating here, should we sell Solanke or Richarlison, or do we need two of them or one of them, shows how much shit street we are in up front. I think we are going to end up with Richarlison and Solanke to at least January.
Yeah,
so we have
I got a funny
to
feeling
go
about
and
that.
get that player on the left, and who also covers us for the right as well.
Well, someone said in the comments,
just coming back, isn't he?
Someone said in the comments, which I think would be a brilliant idea, if they're doing this, Everton, why not use it as a bargaining tool and say, right, how much do you want for Ndiaye? Not saying that they'd sell him, saying, right, how much would you want? If they said 50, 60, 70 million, they'd be like, all right, the 15,
thing is,
20,
Brian, I've got to be honest.
I love him.
And Ndiaye, no, it's not for me. I'll tell you why. Because we've got Kudus, right? And unfortunately, like it's not the crucial area we need to look at. And Ndiaye is more of a right winger.
He can play 10 and on the left, but right is where he does his best. But
yeah, he plays the best on the right. That's where he normally plays for Everton, on the right. Right. I know he can play on the left, but he's not really the best on the left.
But he can play 10.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that. But is he the type of 10 that you want? Is he going to be
Morgan?
Because yeah, of course, you'd want Morgan Gibbs-White, right? So I don't know. I mean, look, if they were to do some kind of deal with Ndiaye and Richarlison going the other way, I'm all for it because it's improving the squad. But he's not the one I'd look to go for personally. That's just personal preference.
Or after the game yesterday, are people now going to say that told you so, Mikey Moore's our man to cover us on the right?
Oh, no.
No.
He had a great game. Don't get me wrong. He had a very good game.
I saw him have a couple of good bits because I only watched after the game as such, the replay, some of it.
Yeah, he did have a good game. But again, that was a pre-season friendly. It's not the Premier League, right? Where he's going to come up against even stronger and even fitter and even faster players. But he did well. He did well. He got into his runs were good. His positional awareness was good. His crossing into the box was good. And he looked more like the player that everyone wants to see Mikey Moore sort of perform at those kind of levels. And if he can transition that into the Premier League, then I'm all for it. But right now, I still think he's a year or two off being ready to come into the team who's in the Premier League, in my opinion. Agreed.
He had a very good game, and he needs a loan to continue his development like he did at Rangers.
Yeah.
to another
Do you
team,
think-
get regular first 2 minutes, and then come back to Tottenham a better player.
Do you think one of the other issues is with getting the players up the front? Yeah, it's still players that we've actually got there as well. Now I know it's on a big injury as such, but when you actually look at this team and you look at the players we have out on injury as well, even up front, we don't actually look bad at all, bar Richie and Solanke.
Mhm.
If we have it fit, on the right-hand side, you've got covered with Kudus, and Kulusevski can cover a right-hand side. You look at a number 10, we've got a Maddison, we got a Simmons, we got a Gallagher, we got a Kulusevski, and we got a Kudus, who can all hold a number 10 role. Obviously, about 3 of them significantly better than the others, but you can all hold them as a number 10 role. On the left, you've got a Simmons and you've got a Tell, which is probably our weakest side then, with Simmons and Tell covering the left, basically. Because, again, I still think that Simmons wasn't brought in for the 10 role. I think he was brought in to take Son's role. Personal opinion. He done it more out in Germany and actually had a better GA off it in Germany as well. Wasn't by much, but that's what he did there. So we also got to watch out with the amount of players we go for there, because the amount of players that will be coming back in, or should I say instead of will, sooner or later. You've still got Kulusevski sitting there. Do we ever think he's going to play football again? I don't think he's ever going to be close to the player that he could have been with the injuries he's had. Don't know. We might have a bit of luck, but I think he'd be a lucky man if he ever plays football properly again. And then Simmons as well. What has happened to him could be a career-changing injury. How many people have snapped their ACL and never come back the same person again, young or older player? But then how many have also done it and come back perfectly fine and got on with the game? So you've got to look at Simmons. He's going to be there round and about, I'd say, after, let's say March. I'd say he's going to start getting some game time if everything goes well. And then you've got to get him match fit and everything else. So maybe by about April, we could have him playing consistently again. So does that also mean we have to be careful on who we buy in there? Remembering the injuries that we've still got there, who could come through at the same time as well.
Well, the first thing I'll say on that is I can't wait for Xavi to be back. I think under the Derby, he could really, really thrive under him. And from the last thing I heard, I think he is actually ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Last I heard, but it's still not going to be till Christmas, New Year, January, February, or March that you predicted. And then, like you said, he's got to build up match fitness. He's got to build up. So you're probably going to see Maddison maybe a little bit. Xavi a little bit earlier than we saw Maddison, because remember he injured it during this or near the end of the season, not right in pre-season. I think he'll thrive. But you raise a good point there. There's cover there. Whether we all deem it's good enough or they can be available enough is a question. I'm really concerned with Kulusevski. I really, you can't. This injury has just been. When did he play Crystal Palace before the Europa League final? And he's back in training, which is obviously good to see. Can he hit that? And the thing I found, Dan Yumi spoke about him so many times. I feel that Kulusevski's had 3 months in every season where he's untouchable and he's on fire and he's winning games and he's man of the match or whatever. And then because of lack of quality, we burn him out. And then he picks up a knock and then he's not the same for the rest of the season. I don't know if he can get back to what he was, then we've got a very good player back. I don't think he can. I don't think he will.
No, I don't think so.
Kudus, we just don't know, do we? And Kudus can't play on the right every single week like he was hitting hope to Kudus. So it just shows how much crap we've got to get rid of. Or not just crap, sorry, because I don't want to call some of those players crap, but some of the players that we bought, the young and they'll come good, or the cheap alternatives that rather than the main targets. Spurs have got to get a lot off the books.
I mean, what do you reckon, Dan?
Do
you think that with the injuries that we've got is also holding back the players that we buy because they could come back fit, basically?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's why this project is going to take time to get to where they want to get to, right? But they're trying to do as much as they realistically can do in one window, right? And if I'm sorry, but like the amount of fans that are kind of still moaning, right? I understand we still need to do the attack, and I still think we will get a couple of players still in the front line, and I think there might be even one surprise one in there. But if someone had told you that Spurs were going to sell the amount of players they've sold for nearly 185 million pounds and bring in the likes of Tonali, Senesi, Van Hecke, Fernandez, and the players that we have brought in, right? You'd have sat there and laughed like at the beginning of the transfer and say, "Yeah, you're taking the piss, aren't you?" Right?
Mm.
So the fact that we've if you look at the potential of the overall deals of the players that we brought in and the ones that we've sold, we've literally only spent 53 million pounds net. That is insane, right? Which means we could go and do another 200 million, 250 million easily, right?
Then go and do it.
Yeah. So, but I think they will, Dan. I think they are going to go and spend. They're going to go and spend like 150 million pound on 2 players, right? On Savinho and Gakpo. It's going to happen. Like it once 100% in my opinion, it's going to happen.
Savino, I can see happening. Gakpo, I don't see happening.
I think Gakpo will happen.
I think
Because they're going to go.
I think
If they get-
one sentence.
Go on.
I think one of them are here before Brentford. The other one is here before the end of the window. Is what
Agreed.
I'm thinking.
You both
Yeah,
think we are going to get both of them?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I'll be
Once
happy
Barcelona,
if they do.
once Liverpool get Barcola, they'll sanction the deal. We'll get what's his name? We'll get Gakpo, and then they'll try and get and buy from PSG as well. They're looking to try and do a double deal, but I honestly think that we'll get both.
This guy never learns. Never ever learns.
No, he doesn't.
So,
He
do
doesn't.
you reckon then that with this, what's the word I show you? Just the way this transfer market just basically our window sort of basically frozen. We got so far, and then it sort of just the battery run out, the engine run out, whatever way you want me to put it. Yeah. So, do you think that's more down to it's not Spurs' fault, but it's actually been the other clubs being such awkward bastards, basically? But
Well,
then, if they were being like that, shouldn't we have gone, okay, that was your final offer. You're not going to accept it and had a different plan B or make a spur of the moment decision and go elsewhere?
Well, for me, Dan, I can see what the plan has been from De Zerbi, right? It's very obvious. It looks very obvious that they're trying to bring in, like you said earlier, players with Premier League experience, right? Now, I understand that from a perspective that if you look at Spurs over the last 2 seasons, we finished 17th, right? We nearly got relegated on the last day of the season. They want players that they believe that can come in and hit the ground running straight away. They don't need to blend in. They don't need time to settle because you want
That's why they're getting Premier League players, basically.
Exactly that, right? So you go and get a Gakpo, you go and get a Savinho, right? Regardless of what people think of them, they are Premier League experienced players, so they know what the league is about, and one of them anyway, Gakpo, has done pretty well in the Premier League. If you look at his,
I don't think he's a bad player. I wouldn't have said no to him if you said start of the season. I wouldn't have said no to him. I don't think he's nothing special.
And I think Dan,
I think
if there was a player that they genuinely believe is the guy to get, they will go outside the Premier League. But I do believe that this season, bar the anomaly, I think it's going to be Premier League players, right? And I think then next year or the next windows, they'll start looking around, right? In other areas, depending on how players perform in the season and all this kind of shit, right? But I think if you look at the way transfers have happened this summer, not a lot of clubs have made big signings, right? Or big players have moved in a lot of ways. And a lot of the times, what you've seen is players are not moving until the other clubs have got their replacements. So it's a massive domino effect type of transfer window this season, from what I'm seeing. It's not been like other windows where you can go to a team and slap down the money and say, yeah, this is who we want to get, right? So in certain players you can do that, right? But when you're going for players at the top clubs, like your Cities and Liverpools and the best clubs around the world, right? Especially in England anyway, they are not needing the money, right? Look at Liverpool. They've just Jeff Bezos has just taken over. He's the richest man on the planet, right? He's just taken 30% of Liverpool's right? So do you think they need money? No, they don't give a fuck about the money, right? Of course they're going to want to get what they value their player at or their asset at, but at the end of the day, if they don't have someone who they believe that can replace that person, they don't need to sell. And I also agree with Tottenham's transfer strategy this summer, because to be honest with you, I don't want to see another player from another league, right? Because how often it's such a gamble whenever you get any player, but it's far less of a gamble when you've got a player from the Premier League who's got Premier League experience, right? If you go out into another league, right, there's a risk element that the player might not do well. And to be honest with you, right this minute for Tottenham Hotspur, I would prefer Premier League experience over anything else out there. That's just me, right? Just because there might be better players you can get for cheaper, whoever it is, right? And I'm sure they could do that too. But I just think that I trust the way that De Zerbi's building the squad. And for me, it looks like we just have to wait to get those players that we need. And I think we'll get them because it's just a matter of those clubs getting in their replacements, right? I think we'll get Savinho done this week. I think Savinho is going to be a Tottenham player this week.
There's some logic to what you're saying. I can see the logic to where you're going. And then you would hope that, right, we've got half of what we wanted, because obviously there's a lot more to build up in the squad than just the 11. But we've got half of what we wanted. We've got the main part done as such, and get another one in January. And then next season, take it over to, we have a new scout system built up, ready, prepared for the following season. Is that the sort of thing you're looking at?
Yeah, it's kind of like. Sorry, Brian. Just one more thing, and then I'll let you go. It's kind of like I think the board and the club are scared, right, that they don't want to make bigger risks of getting players outside of the Premier League, because the risk factor is that, are they going to come in and hit the ground running, right? It's a 50-50 gamble. But if you go and target better players in the Premier League who you know perform already in the Premier League, then you know that they're going to perform, right? Of course, it's still a risk, but there's more of a chance that they're going to succeed than they are going to fail, right? And that
technically, you would think so.
That's how it looks when you're planning. If you're planning a strategy, right, and you're going to put a bet on it, Dan, you're going to put your money on the Premier League player being the one who's going to succeed more than the player who's never played Premier League football before, right? So
it's logical. It's logical.
Yeah. So that's but in any strategy, right? I think that's where I think Tottenham are sort of aiming it. And I saw someone in the chat just say, but there's no risk with Osimhen. But that's exactly my point, right? When there's an anomaly player like an Osimhen, right? Of course, it's still a risk to bring him in, but there's a high chance he's going to succeed because he's done it and he's performing at the highest level. Right?
Yeah.
He's performing in the Champions League, performing in Galatasaray, performed at Napoli. He was the key when they won the title with Kvaratskhelia in the team. That him and Kvaratskhelia were the two best players. Yeah, he's my favorite player. Kvaratskhelia is my favorite player.
Do you know what the jar is, Dan? We actually turned him down.
I know. Well, it was actually Conte that turned him down, actually.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually Conte that turned him down.
Spurs. We actually turned him down.
For £10 million we could have got him for. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, go on, Brian. I want to hear what you think.
No. What I was to say is you look like you said with the wait for this thing. First of all, a few weeks ago we made all these signings, and then we were all saying we've got to get players out the door. We've got to get players out the door. We got 3 out in a week. Yes, we've gone stagnant on buying players. We've had to juggle things about outgoings, incomings, and now it's time. Now it's time to do the incomings. Yes, we would have wanted the forward line addressed first. Savinho just needs to get done anytime before the window. In case if we get done by City 2 windows in a row for the same player, and I've never seen a player wanting to play for a football club more than Savinho with Tottenham Hotspur. He is literally twerking like a good one for us. Honestly,
oh yeah, definitely.
Mate, he's liking Luca Williams-Barnett's tweets. He's liking everything Xavi does for obvious reasons. He is literally all over everything Tottenham. I've seen a few people say, why aren't other teams going for him? It's a fair point. It's a really fair point. But what's most important for me is, I think when I've looked at this window, De Zerbi has had players he wants that he feels are integral to his way of play. And it looks like, now we can all say it's a club signing because of last summer, but from what I heard and what I've been told is apparently when he had the meeting to join the club, he was told Spurs are very, and he said, okay, he green lighted it. So it's not just a club signing. From what I've heard, doesn't mean it's legit. It could be that he's a kind of player he would have wanted. He wanted Kudus at Brighton, but he went to West Ham. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. And like I said, we're losing these players, especially Gapco. If you look at him yesterday for Liverpool, he played well, scored an assist. When he scored, he didn't even bother celebrating. He just walked off. You know, like when you know there's something going on. I believe they're coming. If you had told me at the beginning of the window that these two were the main two forwards coming in, I've been hot and cold on both of them. I've been hot and cold on both of them, but I didn't even have Cody on there if I had a list of 20 because I didn't even think it was possible that we would be having the window we did. I think everything.
Well, no one was expecting a Tonali to turn
exactly.
Up
That's what I mean. When we've heard these names before, Dan, when we've heard these names before, we're just like, oh yeah, here we go, nonsense, blah blah blah.
You wouldn't have even acknowledged him and thought about getting him, basically.
Mate, I'd have been like, yeah, mate. There's a couple of people about a month and a half, 2 months ago that mentioned Cody to Spurs, and I went, yeah, complete bullshit. Well, it clearly isn't.
For fair reasons.
It clearly isn't. And one of the sources was that blooming thing on Twitter, IndyCarla, which are the most unbelievably shit source. But they were talking about it way before, and it looks like it's coming true. Yes, we always want the strikers in, but if someone had told me right now Gapco and Savinho are coming and a striker of quality, but you might have to wait until they won't all be here up for Brentford. They might be one for Brentford, one for Newcastle, and one before the window. I'm taking it all day long. Would I like it sooner? Of course I would have.
100%, Brian. Yeah.
Of course I would have.
Right.
But that's not how transfers work.
One sec, Dan. Just want to say thanks to Berlin PJ for your super sticker, mate. Much appreciated. So the question I'll go with that then, yeah, before I wrap this up in 10, 15 minutes. I mean, I had quite a lucky one there where the missus actually fell asleep again waiting for me, so I was able to stay on longer as long as I shut the door. But see, pregnant wives, happy lives. The thing is with that is if we at least go and get, let's say, Gakpo. I know some prefer Savinho, some prefer... If we get one or the other, Gakpo or Savinho, to go on the left-hand side, yeah? Whatever one turns you on, whatever one. How do you then rate this window? Because so many people are saying that with this window, unless we do one of them, is a disaster, which I think is well OTT for me. I still say if we sign nobody, I still think we can say we've had a respectable window. We just didn't get the job done properly. And I think we've also built the window the right way. Built it from the back to the front. Built the squad from the back to the front. Because the front ones were going to be the hardest to get. If we'd have just focused on the front, 100%, we wouldn't have got Tonali. We wouldn't have got Fernandes. Van Hecke, yes, we'd have got him most probably. We wouldn't have got Senesi. We wouldn't have got Robertson, most probably. So I think we've done it the right way. And without getting that player, I'd still call the window a 6. We go and get that player, at least one of the players. For me, I can put that window up to a 7. What about you, sir?
Go on, Brian.
If we only get one, do you say we only get one of them before the window shuts or one of them before Brentford?
One of them before the window shuts. Do you know what, Brian? I'm at that point now, yeah, where obviously you want everything done early. The earlier the better. Get it done. Yep. Get it done. We're known to be Spursy, leaving it till the last minutes. Yes, that word will get used for it because it is what we definitely do in a Spursy way. In the last bloody minute, yeah? But I'm literally at that point now as well where I felt we've actually done quite a lot of work before it even started, so I can cut that bit of leeway. And I'm now at that point, well, yeah, it would have been more convenient to do it this way, that way, whatever. Do you know what? Fuck it. As long as we got it by the end of it, I'll deal with it. I'll be happy with it. That's more the attitude I've got to it.
At the moment, if we only got one of them in, I would say right now, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. If it was to be selling only, I'd give it a lot higher because I think Saar will be gone. I think others will be gone. I think compared to other windows, we would have cleared a lot of players that weren't regular. We would have cleared a lot of players that we needed to get out the door from the first team. If we get them in, we've upgraded in positions that I didn't even think would get this quality of player. The
Yeah.
only reason I won't go higher than a 7 if we only sign one of them is the forward line was the main objective to sort out, and we've neglected it. If we don't bring in at least 2, if we bring in both of them, Cody and Savinho, I'd probably put it up to an 8. But we'll see.
Yeah.
You say just 1, but then we'll see if a striker comes in as well. Then Jesus Christ, what a window! What a window!
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I completely agree with all of that.
On that note, I just want to address one waffler that doesn't have his camera
Right, one
on.
sec,
but doesn't-
Brian. One sec. Just
I'm
want to say big thanks to Tony Rodriguez. Much appreciated, mate. And one thing I will say on here quickly is if anyone disagrees 100% with what gets said on here over the rating of the window as such, put it on here and I'll put the link in and let someone come on. And if you've got that much of an issue with it being acceptance or not, then I'll give you a chance to come on and say your piece with it. So go on, Alex. Go for gold, mate. And thanks
Yeah,
a lot,
yeah.
Tony. Much appreciated.
Yeah, like I said, I just got to address this waffler beside me that hasn't got his camera on. Here with the
Here we
dog thing, right?
Go on, Alex. Go for it, mate. Don't take no crap.
Firstly, it wasn't waffling about the goalkeeper because Dan's been talking about it for a long time. It's just that at the moment,
my
like
God.
I said, he's been talking about it a long time, and to be honest with you, I've been agreeing with him, right? And to be honest with you, because I haven't really watched other leagues like Dan has, and I had to have a look at the goalkeeper that he was talking about. I looked at it and thought, well, why are we not looking at other options just in case? Because we should cover all our bases. You know, that's what a club would do. You know what I mean? Not just go for the flavour of the month because he's done well for the last 7 games and that's it, right? So it's not never learn. I never learn. Brian says, Brian Day, what a cheek. What a cheek.
Mate, if
Right,
you,
so I
Yeah.
never learn.
Cheek,
Never learn
Brian.
what?
The audacity.
You know what I mean?
The audacity.
Fucking hell,
audacity.
Brian.
The audacity. The
Stop.
audacity of this guy to tell me I never learned. You know that you don't want to do that. You don't want to tank up Mr. Box Office like that. You know,
Mate, I think
you don't
I
want to do
proved
that.
it.
But
I think
my
I
point
proved
is
it,
though,
mate. I
right?
think I
Because I don't want to drag this out. I don't want to drag this out on Dan's show, right? But
We
I'm
get to the
saying,
point, mate.
right, is that
Oh
I just feel that we could have looked at other options, right? Like the goalkeeper from Roma that doesn't cost a lot of money, then going for Dragerson, who for me is no different than Dragusin,
Huh?
I mean. Dragusin, I mean.
Yeah, what's he got to do with it?
Dragusin for me, right?
Alex, you're talking about goalkeeper, and then you talk about what's
No, I got it wrong. I got the name wrong. If I'm talking about goalkeepers.
Oh, the
obviously.
Bravka, you mean?
The Bravka, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The Dubravka, who's no different to Vicario, right? But he's older. So I don't see the point. You're not
Kingsky's number
challenging
one, Alex.
anybody, and you've already got problems with your foreign quota at the moment. So at least you get a foreign quota, a foreign player that's actually going to compete with the other foreign player. You know what I mean? Because what is the point of having the 2 foreign players that one is just going to be a backup and one that's just who's really, to be honest, still has to prove himself still. You know what I mean? You know, I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Foreigners, though.
We literally
Sorry?
just explained earlier on.
We've
When
just
you just
literally
went
sold
off.
2 foreigners, and Richie could be going. That's 3 foreigners.
But Brian,
yeah,
he's
no,
talking.
I'm talking about the
Brian,
goalkeeper.
he's
No, he's still
talking
going
about.
about the goalkeeper. Okay, I don't.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the goalkeepers. I think I'm hearing a lot of Spurs fans after 5 minutes with this goalkeeper that did okay, right? Did okay for what he's
He
given.
did more than okay.
Well,
But
he
anyway.
did okay, right?
No, he
Right,
saved Spurs from relegation,
maybe,
Alex. So
good at
that's a
what
fact.
he said.
That's an actual
I know
fact.
because you're getting emotionally attached to him. You're getting emotionally attached to him. I'm not emotionally attached to his play.
It's not emotional attached.
Yeah,
it's just what we
it is
see.
emotionally
It's right,
attachment.
Dan,
That's what you do.
let him finish, mate. Otherwise, go on.
Yeah, emotionally attached to him. Yeah. So
It's not
I'm
emotionally
saying
attached,
to you,
no, Alex.
I'm saying to him, all
Hey,
right.
shut up. Go on, Alex.
And this is what I'm saying. So I say to you that I think if we did look at another goalkeeper to challenge him, I think you could get the best. I think then you can see whether he's got reading the minerals to keep it for the whole season, right? But I just think at the moment, we're just going off on one because
Alex,
of the vibes of what he's given
Alex,
last season, 7 games.
Alex, I'm going to
He
say
didn't-
one thing to you, mate. The manager has chosen Kingski as the number one.
Well, cool. That's on the manager then.
Well,
If
then
you want to do that.
there's no conversation then.
No, but okay, no, there is a conversation then because then your manager,
Yeah.
right? It's on him if he messes up then.
Of
Correct.
course.
And it's
So we
also,
fucking said.
So it can work both ways. It's the same with Paul.
Alex, you're literally agreeing with what we've said.
It's what he does, Dad.
I know. You're literally agreeing with what we've said.
But fair enough. I didn't watch the whole show. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm not always going to be
It's
watching
all right,
every
Alex,
single
chill.
moment.
Chill.
You know what I mean? No, Dan, you know I'm chill, Bob. I'm just expressive. Come on now, just calm yourself, man. My point is though, yeah.
Calm yourself, man.
Dan, calm yourself, mate. Fucking calm yourself, Dan.
Sorry, Alex.
Listen. I'm here to rattle some
get
people.
that.
Yeah, I'm here to do my job. Let me do my job. The point is though, yeah. Go on, Dad. Go on, Brian.
I'm just saying, we're just here having a general conversation where sometimes me and Danny don't agree. Sometimes me and Danny to the left of me don't agree. But it's just calm, relaxed, having a discussion.
It's calm, Bob. It's just I'm just passionate, man. It's just like I'm just got a bit of energy. You get what I mean? Like, I'm not here to sing Kumbaya, for goodness sake. Honestly, I can't stand this fan
Alex,
base.
man, next time you come on here, I'm going to come meet you up your place and give you a bong before you come up on here, mate.
Yeah,
seriously.
Cool. I love the challenge. I love a challenge as well, Dan. Give it to me. Anyway, moving on. Right, because honestly,
Give him the bong, Alex. Give him the bong, Dan.
My point is anyway, yeah, right. I'm just saying that I think we're giving too much praise and free reign on players like Poro, like Kinski, right? And I think we're doing it with Savinho now, to be honest with you. When I'm looking at that Everton player, winger, I forgot the Nigerian, I think it is. I forgot his name now.
Yeah,
Ndai.
And I like his attitude more than what I'm seeing from Savinho. You know what I mean?
They play
Savinho.
on different wings, Alex.
And Dan, stop doing that. What are you doing that for goodness sake? What's this
Dan,
all about?
what are you fucking doing, Dan?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you fucking doing, Dan?
What are you doing that for?
That was the image I did before I got married, mate. That's my way of being holy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, here we go. Right, cool.
No, mate, if you don't understand what it means, go check it up.
No, I thought you were doing it about me. I was like, well, for goodness sake, what have I done now? My gosh, anyway. But you know what I mean? It's like, that's all I'm saying. I think we could look at other options, right? And I think we're just settling for the players because they had, the flavour of the month. That's what I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question, Alex?
Yeah, go on.
Why do you think De Zerbi has chosen Kingsley as the number one?
Because he can control the ball. He's very good with his feet. Yeah, great. And he has made some good saves and he has recovered himself.
Isn't that what goalkeepers meant to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. But I remember a time when we had Gomez.
So you're going to compare... How can you compare Kingsley to Gomez?
No, I just remember in the past, we had Gomez.
Gomez made mistakes, but he also made some incredible saves.
Exactly.
I like Gomez as a keeper.
Mate, the save from the Van Persie free kick is the best save I've ever seen.
I mean, I remember, I'm just thinking of an example now. Liverpool's goalkeeper, the German, I think it was.
You mean Callagho's gone to Brentford?
Sorry?
Do you mean Callagho's gone to Brentford? Or you mean that guy, Madbishvili, or whatever his name is?
No, not him. The one that made the mistake in the Champions League final, I think it was, the first one.
Karius,
yeah. I remember him. And they ended up having to get a new goalkeeper as well, because they just couldn't rely on him. Mingale, that was another one as well. The Belgian. That was another one as well.
He was experienced. Karius wasn't. Karius made some howlers. Goalkeepers are going to make howlers. He made very, very noticeable howlers. He was never Liverpool's number one. He was Liverpool's backup.
Alex, what about David De Gea, mate?
True. That's another one as well.
He came in young. He was making so many mistakes when he was younger, and then he turned out to be one of the best keepers for them.
Yeah, but look how he's ended up, though.
How he's ended up?
What?
You want to
Where
say
is he
how
now?
it's ended up? Why do I care where he is now? He's in his mid-30s.
I'm just saying. Like, listen. My point is that I think we're making a mistake with the goalkeeper at the moment. I think there's still question marks on the goalkeeper still, and I think that everyone's getting all giddy about him now because he's had a
Alex,
few good pace season
what's
games.
the
And he's
most?
carried on.
What's your top 3 positions that we need to fix in the squad?
We fixed them already. We fixed midfield, defence,
No,
and also
As in like positions, as in like centre mid, attacking midfield, centre attacking midfielder, right
well, we
winger,
need
left winger,
forward.
striker, left back, right back. What 3 positions do Spurs need to fix?
We need forwards.
Yeah. So what type of forwards do we need?
Well, we need wingers. We need some wingers, or
So then, is
yeah.
that not why? Is that not the thing that Spurs should be focusing on, and not a keeper?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying to you that I do think, in my opinion, that we should be looking. The goalkeeper is still. I'm not too sure still. You know what I mean? I think people are just all fixated with him now because I think they're thinking, well, because there's less problems to worry about with the goalkeeper now, we don't need to not look, think about it. And I
I don't
think,
think anyone has said, Alex, not once, that Kingsky's someone that's 100% he's going to be our keeper for the next 10 years, right? We've all literally said that if Kinski doesn't have a good season, then I would want Spurs to go and get another keeper. But I am of the opinion of what I've seen of him, right? For me, he is good enough to prove himself this season. And with a manager like the Zerbi, who has the complete trust and faith in him, and the fact that when you watch the footballers on the pitch and inside the stadium and the fans, there's a far more calm energy when Kinski is in goal. And I haven't seen that at Spurs for years. Not since the Hugo Lloris in his prime, when Lloris was in his prime.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing, is when you get defenders who feel comfortable and they're not worried by the goalkeeper making stupid decisions and stupid errors, right? They have more confidence in their own ability, and it makes them worry less about who's behind them, right? So it allows them to concentrate more on their game, and that's what you want. And also Kinski is very good at distributing on both feet, not just his right foot, his left foot as well.
yeah,
And in
but
a
is he
modern day
confident at the
keeper, that's
moment?
exactly what you need. And he's also getting better at his reflexes and shot stopping. Like even the ones he saved in the Chelsea preseason game, some of the saves he made were world class saves.
Yeah, but again, it's
Reflex saves as
pre-season.
well.
It's pre-season though, and I think when it
Yeah, but
really matters,
a goalkeeper, Alex, in pre-season, a goalkeeper is probably one of the positions where you can actually quite judge well a goalkeeper even in pre-season, because you're still playing. Because in any game, regardless of the level, you're taking a shot against the goalkeeper, right? It doesn't matter what level you're at, right? You're going to take a shot against him, and the way he saved some of those shots in just that game alone shows how good his reflexes are getting and how good they are already, right?
great.
And the fact that the Zerbi's literally said he can do even so much better, which is even more crazy, because if he's already performing like that, then and he believes he can get him to an even higher level, then the sky's the limit for Kinski. And on top of that, you have to look at the player's mentality, because nowadays in football, I think it actually, to be honest with you, I think in any era of football, mentality is always the best winner, right? If you have the mentality to want to be the best and keep improving, right, and you don't lose your confidence, right, that is a key characteristic trait that you need in any footballer. And the fact that he had the shit, like I was saying earlier on the show, Alex, the fact that he had a shit game against Atletico Madrid, and then came in at arguably Tottenham's most pressurized, stressful environment in a relegation battle that the club have probably been in for over half a century, maybe, or since the last time we were in a relegation battle. And he excelled. He played better than we've seen him play before. That to me shows what a keeper can do when you put him in a pressurized moment and he starts performing better, right? That shows to me he's got mental strength to grow and get better and better regardless of how much pressure is on
You
him.
could have said that about Jed Spence. You could have said that about Jed Spence when he was.
Well, hold on, why are we talking about Jed Spence? We're not talking about.
No, but I'm
Alex,
just saying. I'm just
Alex,
saying.
you
No,
can't
back to
talk
your
about
argument.
Jed Spence. We're having a discussion about goalkeepers,
just
Alex.
counting your argument. I'm counting your argument. You don't
You're
like it because I'm
using Jed
giving you
Spence.
something else. No, don't try and change it. Don't try and change what I'm
You're trying to
say.
change it, Alex.
I'm saying to you, you could have said that about Jed Spence. But
what's Jed Spence got to do with a goalkeeper?
No, I'm saying to you, Jed Spence had a good how many months at Tottenham, didn't he?
Jed Spence was never a quality player. He was a good player.
So what's the difference between him and Kinski? Because he had a hard time.
I'm not gonna sit here, Alex, and comparing Jed Spence to.
No, I'm not
Kinski.
comparing. I'm saying that he had a hard time as well. So now because he's different position, now we're not gonna say that. Oh, maybe it's just because he's having a bit of a good period at the moment. We don't know. You don't know.
Jed Spence has never every single manager at Spurs has never chosen him as the number one choice at right back or left back, right? Whenever Udogi's come back and he's been fit, Udogi's always gone into the team with Ange, with everyone, right? Conte didn't even want him. He's a good defender, but that's all he is.
Yeah,
he's shit going forward.
But the
right?
point I'm making, which is
he's a limited player, Alex. He's a limited player, and he's not good enough for the Premier League.
But the point you're missing here, though, right? The same period that we're talking about Kinski was the same period, more period that Jed Spence was having a good time with Ange Postecoglou, right? Okay, so I'm not being funny. Yeah, but again, this is what I say. I don't just do periods of just a period of player and start saying that yes, he's my number one. I'm sorry, this is what we're doing here.
Alex, let me break this down for you. Last season, when he played 7 games, how many good games would you have wanted him to have out of 7?
But yeah, he has some good games, yeah, but that's not the point I'm making. Why are you twisting my words?
No, Alex, I'm trying to say to you, he had 7 games to come in when Spurs were at their lowest lows.
Yeah, cool.
And he came in, and his saves, especially the Leeds games, game where we were 1-0 up and then Tell gave away that penalty, we had lost that game, we could have been as good as down. We didn't. He started.
What about Paulinho then?
But we brought in Tonali and Fernandes.
Okay, so on that same point then, if Paulinho doesn't score that goal, right, against Everton, we go down.
Agreed.
We go down.
Well,
so what we're doing here?
We wouldn't have done because West Ham lost. I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. It wasn't just Kinski that saved us, but he was a major part of it. But Paulinho's gone, and I wanted Paulinho to sign. But if you told me you could have Paulinho or Fernandes and Tonali, I'm picking Fernandes and Tonali every single time. But what I'm saying, you're going on about Kinski. The manager has showed faith in him. Like Danny mentioned De Gea, like I mentioned before, people like Jordan Pickford and other goalkeepers that have started young and gone on to have very good Premier League careers. I understand your scepticism. I totally understand it. What Danny and I are saying is we're on completely the other side of the coin. And so are a lot of fans that saw him perform what he did. We can only judge by his performances. And his performances since he's been in have been very good.
Yeah.
But I didn't see, with everything that needed to get done in this summer, I think goalkeeper was very, 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 very far down the list for me.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only difference we're having here, Alex.
I'm just saying that I was just counting your point, Brian, that you're saying that because he saved us, but I can counter the point saying that, let's be honest here, Paulinho could have saved us a lot of his performances as well.
And they both did, Alex. They both just as good as each other.
So this is where I'm like, no, I can counter that. I'm sorry.
Remember yesterday? There's nothing to counter. Do you remember yesterday when I said, have you got me on foreign language settings? I think you're doing it again because Kinski and his saves helped keep us up. Paulinho and his goals helped keep us up.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Should we just put Paulinho then?
No, because we've got Fernandez and Tonali.
Oh, so it's okay then. It's okay then. The midfield. Okay, so back on the point then. This is where I'm coming from.
Alex just
But
doesn't
now you're
listen.
saying now, so it's okay to improve the midfield then, even though Paulinho saved us, but it's not okay to sort the goalkeeper out though. You get what I'm saying? This is now where I'm getting. This is where I'm just like, I'm not having this. You get what I'm saying?
Mate, if you had told me we were going to go get Courtois in goal, I'm taking Courtois every single time. Do I think if you give me a top tier goalkeeper, am I taking it over Kinski? Absolutely, I am. But as I've said, and as Danny said, and as a lot of people said, he is very, very, very low down on the list of what needed fixing. That front line needed fixing. That midfield has been like the Red Sea parting
It's been
for years. The defence of Romero and Van der Ven, when they're together, they're very, very good, or they can be very, very good, but it's not a partnership. It's two individuals playing two different styles of football.
Yeah.
And now we've got, we'll have partnerships there. If you had said to me after Everton, if one position has to stay the same, what would it be? Or not one, but if you had to name 7 positions that you need fixing first, what would you do? Goalkeeper wouldn't have been one of them.
No.
Whereas for me, it would have.
Yeah, exactly. That's your opinion.
Exactly that. And that's all we spoke about. Alex, at the end of the day, mate, I'm with you to the extent that I do not think Kinski should be our number one. We spoke about this an hour and a half ago. And everybody knows that, and I will give my reasons why. I think it makes the club, the fan base look extremely contradicting on themselves. There's a lot of reasons to it. But at the end of the day, was he better than Vicario? I'd say shot-stopping Spur at the moment, I'd still say Vicario is one of the best in Europe. But when he's got more than a split second to think, he's an absolute fuck-up.
I think Kingsley's going to be better than him.
Overall, as an overall keeper, I would say Kingsley.
Even shot-stopping, Dan. I think his reflex ability is insane.
I don't know about that. I haven't seen many better out there of late than Vicario who can shot-stop on a split-second decision. Whether you like him or not, whether he's crap or not.
Kinski has shown it in the last 8 or 9 games for us.
He has not
He's shown his reflex ability.
Not to the same level as Vicario, sorry.
Yeah, in my opinion, yes, he has. But that's just
fair enough. But I think we've got a keeper there who could become a good keeper, and this season is going to be basically the one that makes him out on whether he's going to stay at a big club or not. I just wouldn't want to take that risk with an unproven goalkeeper, basically. But everybody knows that now. Alex, I'm more on your side with what you're saying, but we did already discuss this hardcore for about an hour and a half ago.
No, but you understood that I couldn't speak too long on that one when I was there.
That's
so
fine.
that's why I just wanted to finish it off because I'm not trying to stable the show. It's just that I was going to come back on Danny anyway.
You'd never do that. Don't worry about that.
Danny said a few things when I left, so I was like, I'm not going to let that go.
I said a few things, and then you ended up agreeing with me, which is what you do, Alex.
Anyway, moving on. Sorry, that's it. That was it. You know what I mean? It's just it is what it is. I had the same kind of thoughts about Savinho at the moment because I don't like his attitude at Man City at the moment. I don't like it. I really don't. I think he should be.
Those faults.
Pardon?
Who gave you those faults?
No, nobody. I just feel that I don't like the fact he just doesn't want to train and he doesn't want to play right now.
How do you know that's true, Alex?
Well, at the moment you can see that he's not playing.
Yeah, but isn't that what part of when you're doing a deal?
You went on tour.
When you're doing a deal and it's close to finalising, you don't want the player you're going to buy to get injured.
Also, I will say with this, Danny, last season we were all begging and pleading that Morgan Gibbs-White did that.
Yeah, exactly.
We were chucking a transfer request, act up, do this, do that. Mate, the way I look at it, look, we can all debate whether we think he's good enough, we're the only team going for him or whatever. He's showing his want and desire to play for Tottenham.
Yeah.
He's trying to get out there to play. Whether you think he's a good player or not, that's all debatable. That I'm still kind of on the fence with his final product. What I do think he'll do is terrify fullbacks and take him on.
Kudus on the wings when Kudus is fit.
But
fucking disgusting.
He is doing everything he can to try and get to our football club. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong,
but
Danny.
I
Don't
think
get me
it's
wrong, Danny.
also
Spurs player doing it to me, I'd absolutely hate it. I'd be like, get out of the club, man. I'd be furious. You don't want to be at the club? Piss off. Like Romero's done, like Spence has done, and we've got him out. But he's doing everything he can. Mate, I don't think even for other clubs, I've seen a player doing so much social media wise and everything to show how badly he wants to be at Spurs.
Oh, hang on a sec. So what's this Johnny Tottenham saying here a couple of minutes ago? Exclusive, Tottenham Hotspur reached verbal agreement with Manchester City to sign Savinho. Package worth up to 70 million. Cool. That's a bit of a package.
Well, it was 85 a week ago.
It was always going to be up to 70 million.
Don't worry. Just don't worry. God, you're fucking slow, Dan. And Brian, I expected better off you.
Wait a minute, I've gone on to the other. Oh, I've got. Oh, yeah, all right. I've just clocked on. I was just going on Twitter to try and find where this source was.
Including add-ons and now set your exchange documents. Where have you got this from, Johnny?
What's all? I just see.
Looking at it, or one of these.
That would be a Twitter. That would be a Twitter.
Yeah, I know. I'm just checking. I'm checking. I've just checked Ornstein.
There's another one. There's another one that's actually getting a lot of things right. You know what I'm talking about.
I love going on X.
Who's that?
When I go fishing.
You know that I don't want to say too much, but you know.
Who? What, on Twitter, Alex?
Yeah. He seems to be getting a lot of things right now these days.
I'm trying to find what source it is.
Where's that source from? Who is it? Johnny that put it in?
Yeah. That's the fella's name on here. Johnny Tottenham.
Yeah, Johnny. What source is it from? Oh, well, we were speaking earlier, weren't we? Where we said, me and Danny believe one will be in before Brentford, and the other one before the window shuts. I think obviously him not being in the Charity Shield and missing training, they're using the he was ill line. It's a deal that's needed to get done.
It's going to get done this week. He's
one of the main
this week.
One of the main reasons I want it done is so Retweetio Romano can stop tweeting 58 times a day about it and coining in on it.
Message me.
So that I haven't seen any sort. Hopefully Johnny Tottenham will put it in.
Yeah,
because I can't find.
It's all good when something random like that comes up. You're like, great. Where's the link? Where's the source?
I think it might be I forgot his name now. It's ZL. I think it is. It's ZL. It's ZY. He seems to be
Yeah, I checked him. He hasn't put anything on.
He hasn't put anything on
just yet. So wherever it's come from, look, I think this is a deal we all know that it's going to come.
I don't like his attitude. I've got to be honest. I just think his attitude stinks a little bit. I think he's been crying a little bit.
What has he actually done about bad attitude as such? One thing I haven't seen of Savinho's bad attitude. I've seen more of a pissed off player that wants to play football. But I don't think I'd say bad attitude.
I think he doesn't like the competition. I don't think he likes the competition. That's what worries me. That if it gets hard times at Tottenham, right? I think he expects, I'm going to be, no one's going to compete with me because look at the wings we've got right now, right? So I just question whether when the going gets tough, and then there's other players that might be playing better than him, is he going to sulk? That's what it says to me. You know what I mean? That's what worries me a little bit. You know what I mean? Because you can be in a team that's got a lot of better wingers than you, right? But there's another way of dealing with that rather than sulking about it. You get what I'm saying? You know?
Okay, yeah, it's just come up from Twitter. It's just come up from the source. Are they? I've not come across this. Have you come across these people, Dan? Article exclusive. Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't hold weight with that.
I must admit, I don't pay much attention to X and that.
Honestly.
I only go on X when I'm sitting there bored and I want to do some fishing. That's when I like going on X, and it's not just for football.
There you go. Alex, I will say as well when it comes to. Okay, let me just say bye, darling. Have a good day. Love you. when it comes to, I completely forgot where I was going to go. Oh, Savinio's attitude. You look at it. He's been like Jed Spence. He's been at a club for a while and he's not getting first team football. He's going to be pissed off and want to move. He weren't in the Brazilian World Cup squad. He's going to want to move. So there were things. I get what you're saying, but there's a time where players get fed up with not playing first team football, and they want to move. So unfortunately, we live in a day now with social media and ITKs and everything that goes on. That it's not like the old days where
you can't even take a shit in peace and quiet without.
You look at it now. I remember the days, and I wish they went back to it, where you had to agree a fee with the club first, and then you spoke to the player. Now it's all agents get the personal deals done first, and player can want to come, and then they just bitch and moan about the transfer fees. If you just got the club to accept the fee and then spoke to them,
the rule says you're not allowed to speak to the club before you speak to the player.
Yeah, it's that's what it used to be. You used to put a bid in for the club, the player, state your interest. They'd be like, "No, this is the bid." You agree the bid, then they go, "You've got permission to speak to the player."
Yeah, that's
now it's completely different.
I still think Ndai. I think Ndai is a player that I think we could have looked at. I still think we missed out on Trossard. I've got to be honest. I think Trossard was a somebody that I sat there and thought, Arsenal just sell him on the quiet, and it was like, I know Arsenal don't really worry about don't really sell to Tottenham. But I do think that was a deal done on the secret. I've got to be honest, to Turkey, and I think that was quite a good deal. To be honest with you,
Alex, Trossard was never going to come to Spurs. He just won the Premier League.
No, I thought you meant Trossard when we were trying to get him before he went to Arsenal. You're talking about getting him now.
Yeah, no. Listen, the deal that was on the table for him to go to Turkey. I'm looking at that and thinking, right, why was nobody else interested? You know what I mean?
We could have done better. Trossard now, I would have quite happily had Trossard as a Spurs player, before Arsenal got him, and why Arsenal had him. I rate him as a player. I think he's a good player. Nothing special, but a player can be a good player. He doesn't have to be absolute dog shit or absolute universal credit sort of thing. And in that aspect, he's a player that I would not have said no to, but definitely going past his sell-by date now, and wouldn't have been a massive improvement on what we've got, if I'm going to be honest. So for me, that one, it would have been it would have been stupid to go for him basically. But before he would never have come to Spurs anyway. Snapped him up all day long. Yeah,
mate. But when we were going for him before Arsenal got him, he would have made a big impact. He would have made. I agree. And this is the thing. This is the difference as well. And when I was doing Ben said it with Paratici, and he's a prime example. We spent loads and loads of years lowballing and then missing out the players. And Paratici said that you'd rather pay over the odds for the player the manager wants, like option A, and get that player in, rather than what we've done, where we won't get option A because we won't pay the fee, and then settle for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You just got to keep bringing up you look at Kyle Walker. We sold that guy for 50 mil. We spent over 130 million until we found Porro to replace him.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay, like I said, but have we overpaid for Tonali? Yeah, I think we have. Oh, and I don't think we have. I know we have.
Who doesn't overpay for anybody, Brian?
Exactly. That's what I was saying last night. Who doesn't pay for...
We paid over the odds for Fernandes, 85 million for 20... Absolutely. But if the manager has said, these are the players that are integral to me, these are the players that I could develop and fit exactly what I need, I'd rather pay over the odds 20 million and him turn out to be what the manager wants, rather than gamble with stupid alternatives and hope they come good.
Alex, are you saying that you think we could have got Trossard? Is that what you're saying?
I think we should have had a go at him, possibly.
Nah,
why would we have a go for Trossard, Alex? Seriously?
Because we need a winger.
No, seriously. Like, like, you think he's going to leave Arsenal and go to Tottenham?
Well, I'm not saying that he's going to leave for Arsenal to Tottenham. I'm saying that you could have had a go.
Why do you think they sold him, Alex, and they brought in Cholice?
Yeah, because they wanted to upgrade. That's it.
Well, there you go then. Did anyone watch Cholice yesterday in the Community Shield?
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but you're not listening to the point, Danny. I'm looking at him. I'm saying that he would definitely improve our forward line. Looking at the wingers we've got right now, and I
Mate,
think he
that's
would.
not
I'm not
a
so
hard
sure I
bar.
agree with that.
That's
I
not a
don't
hard
agree
bar.
with that, Alex.
I think his experience. I think he's won things. He knows the Premier League, and so I would have taken him in 100%.
I
But
don't
I'm
think
not saying that we'd have got the player, but I think it's worth a go.
No, I
No,
can't agree
I
with
don't.
that one,
I don't
Alex.
agree with that at all.
I liked Trossard as well. And do you know what? If he was out there on a freebie and it's the last day of the window and we've got a major injury there and we need something to ride it for the season, then I could possibly go for that, yeah?
Yeah.
But why the fuck do I want to go and get Trossard? I don't care if it's off Arsenal, off Chelsea or whatever. I'm not sentimental like a lot of people. I don't care if I want to sell a player and Arsenal want him. If they wanted Romero, give me the fucking money, mate. You can have the fella. I don't care when it comes to stuff like that. But I get people do care about things like that. Each their own, whatever turns you on. You know my attitude with that. Some like blonde hair, blue eyes. Some like black hair, blue eyes. Whatever turns you on. I don't care who I buy and sell from in that aspect. It just has to be quality, not some crap from down the pub in the bloody car park. I'm sure a few people know what I mean. And in that aspect, Trossard would have been that dirty bit of crap from down in the car park that has been in someone's back pocket for too long.
Yeah.
It was not the sort of player we needed now. Back
No.
then, I'll go with you totally, but now,
Yeah. Not now.
if our looks would have been at getting Trossard in, then fucking hell, what would our standards have been?
Okay, so you're telling me that Trossard's not better than some of the players we've got right now? Is he better than Tell?
Honestly, now, yeah,
No.
not by anything.
And Tell's still got, whether you think Tell's good or not, or you think he's shit or whatever, he's still got room to grow. He's still got room to grow.
Is he better than Alderweireld?
Yeah, but
Yes. But why would I go and get Trossard when I can go and get Savinho or Gakpo?
Yeah.
No, listen, I'm looking at Gakpo, who can play all through the front line. So I'm not looking at him as that for me. I'm looking. I think there is a debate to be had whether he's better than Savinho.
sorry?
What?
There's a debate to be said about whether he's better than Savinho right now.
Who?
Trossard.
All right.
I don't know why people are putting their hands in
They're
their
very
head right
different
now.
players, Alex, and you have to understand, right? He's not going to play the Zerbi football. Like, it's just not. He's too slow. He's not fast enough. He's a good player, but that's it, right? He'll get you goals, right? But he's not Mr. Consistent either.
No.
He's not. Like some games he doesn't turn up at all, and he's not going to play the same way that De Zerbi wants to play. De Zerbi wants fast, dynamic, free-flowing flair footballers, right? He doesn't want your average Mr. All right. Do you know what I mean? He's not. Savinho, in my opinion, is much better than Trossard.
The only
That's why-
difference is where
And-
we
and
let
Alex, I
Trossard-
think Alex, I think you're. Sorry, go on, Brian. What was that?
I was just saying, and 9 years younger.
Yeah, and 9 years. How old is Trossard? What is he? In his
31.
30s?
32,
31.
32.
He's old. He's old. He's not gonna suit the Zerbi football, Alex. Like Dan said, if we bought him when Arsenal bought him, I would have taken him then, like
I would have been
100%.
happy.
Agreed.
100%. Not now. Not now. It's stupid. That's
One thing he is proven in is he can score goals in the Premier League. That is proven. I'm not saying a lot, but he can. Problem is
That's
with
what we were
Savinho,
saying.
he has not proven that he can score goals in the Premier League yet. That is the only leg I'll have to stand on there, but I'm still not buying Trossard when he's done and dusted of his very best day sort of thing, and he's on the way down.
But this is what I'm saying. You said we need goals. You said we need goals. You score goals. So
But
If-
Savinho is blatantly a more gifted player. You can see that a mile off. He's faster. His passing, from what I've seen, is every bit as good as Trossard. Crossing, I wouldn't say he's too strong with Savinho, whatever. Can he cut into the box and start scoring goals? There is the question I have with him on why I would take Gakpo over him, because Gakpo has shown it. Would I take Rashford over Savinho? For the fact that I've seen he can score goals consistently, but
I
also
love
be a
Rashford.
very purple patch player. I mean, I think the fella's a top to see you next Tuesday, but I don't care about his personality as long as he does the job properly. That's all I care about. That's why I didn't like Romero. And he's another one who can score goals and proven. So would I take Rashford over Savinho? Yes, I would. If I'm purely looking for the goals.
So would I probably.
But,
So would I.
yeah.
I love Rashford.
But I'm not going to go and take Trossard after he's done and dusted and burnt out at Arsenal over Savinho or Gakpo. That's just not going to happen.
100%.
Listen up. Go on. Go on.
No, that's all I was saying. I mean, if you gave me Savinho, Cody, and Trossard and said you could take two,
I'm not taking Trossard. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's not even a debate. It's not even a discussion.
And I will say I don't want any fucking Arsenal players at Spurs. I am that person because to be honest with you, for me, the player has to want to play for Spurs, and if they're only coming to Spurs because that's the only option they've got in the Premier League, for example, on a basis like that, I don't want them. I want a player like Savinho who is showing how much he fucking wants to come to Spurs. I've never seen a player twerk so much for a club.
You know what, Dan? I can go with you halfway there, yeah? I don't care if the player wants to come to Spurs or not. I don't care whether he wants to play football or not. I don't give a shit if he's a mercenary. I don't care what he does off the pitch and that. You all know my attitude with that. As long as he plays the football, I don't care. I genuinely couldn't give a fuck if as soon as he gets off the pitch, he puts an Arsenal shirt on. I really don't care. As long as he would do the job. That is all.
Yeah, that I agree with. I actually agree with that, Dan.
You know, but I know a lot of other people take it a lot more personally than that, and that's their choice. Down to you, down to them, whatever. And that, yeah, you're entitled to that. Everyone is entitled.
That's
to
why
see
I didn't give a shit
on their opinions.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I didn't give a shit if Romero went to Arsenal or not. Couldn't care less.
No, nor do I. I'm not. I
only said it because I said that we were struggling to get a winger in. I just looked at some of the sales that have been made, players that have left their clubs right now. And I looked at it and I thought, and Dye is one of them. I think we should be looking at him.
Pardon? Who's that? The one at Everton?
Yeah, that one. Because he looked like he'd be worth a go. No, I understand Savinho, but I think this is where I've got lose my patience with him. I think he can't. He has to hit the ground running. We have to see something from him. There's no settling period for me. So, you know what I mean? And I think the same with Cody Gakpo as well. So, you know what I mean? I do think we could have winded our options a little bit on this one.
I get the point you're trying to make across. I can't agree with the examples you're giving, but I get the point you're actually trying to make across. So, right, before you come in and totally dropped a nuclear bomb, Alex, and got us talking about Kinksky again, the question was, if we buy one more winger by the end of the season, or a striker, one or the other, get one more player, you've only got one more player to get in there, would you say this transfer window has been a success or a failure or an in-betweener? How would you look at it? Because some people are saying it would still be a total disaster if we didn't get at least two wingers or at least a striker and a winger. I think most of us have agreed. A lot of us agree that, okay, if we don't get anybody, then the window has still been respectable. A 6.5, I would say personally. But if we go and at least get that left winger or striker, whether it's now or on the last day of the season, how would you rate it, the window? Because I do think we got that one more.
Also, Dan, just to add, I think too many people, maybe Alex as well, are not looking at what Savinho means when we have Mohamed Kudus back fit and firing, right? What that does for the dynamic of the team. I think too many people are not looking at that.
Yeah, because he's not fit. So that's why we're not talking about him.
No. If he's fit, I said. When he's fit.
Well, that's if, but, and maybes again. But this is what you do.
Oh my God, Alex, he's going to be fit. Mohamed Kudus is going to come back from his injury, right? He's going to be a Spurs player again. So think about why De Zerbi is building a team, Alex. Come on, don't be stupid now.
No, I'm not being stupid. I'm being reality check for you again.
No,
he's not fit.
Oh my God.
To answer the question, Dan, before Danny completely takes over, is that I think I would like to be mischievous and say 8.
Okay.
But if I'm really, really realistic at the moment, I think it's a 7. If I said it was an 8, then I should have expectations of the Serbi doing well with this squad then, because then I'm rating this squad. But to be honest with you, I still think there's a few players there I've got question marks on still. So I have to put it as a 7 at the moment, 7 or 6.
Okay.
That's the reason for my rating at the moment, because do I really rate this squad? And yeah, I would say maybe to a point, because of the transfer window. But another reason I would say no, because I still got question marks on Robertson, the signing. I've got question marks on Dubravka as a backup. I've got question marks on Savinho. Fernandez was relegated twice at West Ham and Southampton. There's a question mark there at 85 million. Was it 85 million? I think it was, or 75 million, whatever it was. So yeah, I still got question marks on it, so I would say it'd be more 6.5 for me or something like that, maybe.
Right at 8, we're down to 6.5.
Yeah, I was going to say you're sort of working your way down slowly but surely, mate.
But it's called the rating for a reason, isn't
my
it? You know what I mean?
Alex, you don't know what you're saying, do you?
I do know what I'm saying, Danny, because you're the one that says that
you
Kudos is going to be fit still, and I'm still waiting for him to be fit. Time's ticking. I ain't got to watch.
Alex,
but
so do you think Kudos is never going to play for Spurs again, Alex?
I'm still waiting for him to be fit.
Alex, answer this question. Do you think Kudos is never going to play again for Spurs?
Probably, but still not.
Probably.
I'll answer this question. I'll come back to it. I'll come back
What
to
are we
it.
doing here?
I know you like to waffle and speak over me, right?
What are we doing here, Alex?
On the pitch, though. I still don't see him on the pitch, though.
But you said he's probably going to come back. So you're basically saying that there's a chance that Kudos may never play for Spurs again. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say that. I've just said that I need to see him on the pitch first, and then
So why do you think they're buying players to try and build a squad, Alex, with the vision of what the manager sees to Spurs being? Seriously.
Right. But again, like I said, it's like we still need players that are going to actually play on the pitch. Like Maddison, for instance, is not playing.
Yeah, Kudos is going to play on the pitch, Alex. Kudos is going to play on the pitch.
Well, when he does, when he's seen for the first time, then we can start having a conversation. But at the moment, he's not even on the pitch right now.
I will say, Alex, with you with Kudos, I am concerned with his injury. Not concerned that he's not going to be the same player. I just hope we do have a right winger in, because Savinho can play on the right wing as well. He's preferred on the left, but he can play on the right. I would want backup, because we absolutely overplayed him last season, like we do all the time. We overplay and undervalue players in the past, and I've said it so many times. Where if there's a good player in the past, where if they're fit they play, we don't need a replacement because he's going to play. I would love a right winger to come and compete with him. I'd love a right winger to push him and say these players need rests during the season. These players need to make sure they don't get injured, and we know what we've had with injuries like over the years, because a lot of these players keep overplaying. So Kudos I'd want backup for, but I think when he comes back, it'll be he certainly won't be like Kulusevski. I don't think. Please God not. But I do want him. I do want cover for him, because I don't think he's going to be a constant in the Spurs team. I think he will pick up the odd injury.
Yeah, since he's came to us, he's been quite injury prone, full stop. But then you can also look at it and say who bloody hasn't. It seems to be like people that could go their whole career about getting injured, come to Spurs, and then bloody end up on walking sticks within the week. We do seem to have a bit of a bad record for that one, don't we?
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. So this is the thing. I'm just getting tired of seeing Spurs fans tell me, "Oh, well, Kudos, this is going to be back. Kudos is going to be back. Maddison's going to be back." When you see how rusty he looks, what I mean? It's just copism. It's just copism. I'm sorry, they're not fit. There's a difference between match fitness and being fit. And
Alex,
this is the problem I have with it.
Do you know how time works?
Yes, I do know what time works, bro. I don't know what you're going with this, bro. You know what I mean? What are you doing?
It means that Kudos is going to come back.
Okay, when I see him on the pitch,
Like I said to
That's
you
not
before.
that's not the discussion I'm having.
No, because this is what you're trying. You're trying to twist my words again to try and make it into your favour
No,
again.
I'm not trying to twist
I
anything.
love
I'm
what
just
you're
telling you the
doing.
facts.
How do you know he's going to be back, Danny? How do you
He's
know?
going to come back, Alex. It just depends on when. I didn't say that he's not going to come back. I didn't say that he's coming back tomorrow. I said he's going to come back, right? So the idea of building a team is in the vision of the players that we have in the squad. That's how you build a team, Alex. That's how you get 2 players in every single position. 2 good players in every single position.
So we're
That's how
basing
you
it on
build a
somebody that's
squad.
injured then. That's what we're doing here.
What?
We're basing it on somebody that's injured right now still. Because he's not on the pitch right
Oh
now.
my god, you're just not getting it.
No.
Forget
saying,
it. Forget
I'm
Alex.
going
Forget
back
it.
to your point. I'm going back to your point
Forget.
because you don't like it because I'm schooling you right now. The point is
Oh
though,
my
yeah,
god.
right?
Oh my god. Fuck you.
I'm schooling you right now because you're Yeah, saying
That's
to
what
me,
you think, Alex.
shut the
That's what you
fuck
think.
up and sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't like it. The fact that I'm saying to you, he has not played yet. Is he going to be? Is he going to be fit that Brentford game next week? Tell me that now, right now,
Alex,
Danny.
did I? I'm not talking. You're asking. It's a different argument. You're going into completely. I never once said anything about Kudus being fit next week. You donut. Listen.
Yeah, you're saying that he's going to be fit though. You're going to.
Of course he's going to be fit. He's going to come back from injury.
Yeah, so that's why I'm counting your point now, right now, Danny. I haven't seen him, even though he's in training for how long now, running and doing those running drills
Oh
right
my
now,
God.
and I still haven't seen
You're
him on
still
the
not
pitch.
understanding.
So yes, I do know
Ryan,
what
would
you're
you
talking
like
about.
to
But you're
chime
saying to me
in?
that he's going to be fit. We need a winger for next week, though, bro, Danny.
If
Oh my
Savinho comes in,
God.
Savinho can be there. It's all ifs by the rumours going round and whatever happens. And like I said, I think either Savinho or Cody will be in this week. That'll be the left wing or right wing if it's Savinho, and he'll put Tell left wing. So that'll be that until Kudus comes back. Kudus will
I
come
understand that, but now I'm told we've got recovery to worry about now in the chat now. Oh, do you know what recovery looks like? Yes, I do know what recovery is. What I'm saying is at the moment, which Tottenham fans are just deluding themselves right now, that they're not actually answering my question. He's not fit right now for us to actually play him.
No one said anything about that, Alex. Listen
No,
to what we're
look in the
saying.
chat. Look in the chat. Some of the clever ones are trying to be clever here. They're saying,
Alex,
how does recovery work? Yes, I know that recovery.
Alex,
That's why I say we
Alex,
can't rely on him right
Alex,
now.
Alex.
Bloody hell.
If you listen to the
Give
words
me
that come out of
strength.
Alex, if you listen to the words that come out of my mouth, Brian Daigle's mouth, and Danny's mouth, right? No one has sit here and said that Kudus is going to play next week. If you listen to what we said, right, is that De Zerbi is bringing in players to build a squad, right? He's looking at the type of players. He said it himself. He's looking at the type of players, right, that he wants to bring in to fit who is in the squad already. And when Kudus is fit and Savio is fit, if he comes in, which he will, right, look at how the idea and the vision of the manager has got on those 2 players being in the team when they are fit, what they will do to defenders and when they are fit, right? That's what he's looking at.
Yeah, that's all nice. Nice
so you're
words,
agreeing with what I'm
Danny.
saying, which is literally what I've been saying
all
the whole
nice
fucking
words,
time.
Danny. That's all nice words, but I think where we're not getting each other right now. This is where we're not getting each other right now. Okay,
Now, Alex, you're
the
just
fact
thinking
that
of a completely different conversation to what the actual
no.
argument's about.
If you actually listen to me,
You
if you
are.
actually listen to me, no. If you
Alex,
actually
we
listen to me,
we all listen to you, Alex.
no.
But you
Okay,
just
okay.
don't
Well,
know what you're talking about.
Let me make my point now because I've listened to you. Yes, he's making up the squad. That's cool. But at the moment, yes, Savinho comes in. But at the moment, there is no guarantees that Kudos is going to be fit in the next couple of weeks or next couple of months.
No one has said that.
Alex, can I just ask you, Alex?
You're thinking that people have said things. That's why you don't listen, Alex. No
Alex,
one has said anything about Kudus being fit in the next few weeks. No one. Not one of us on this panel. Listen, man.
I just want to bring this back because... but what happened is Danny said, right, let's get back to things. Before Alex came in and spoke about Kinski, Danny actually asked you if you could sign one player, a winger or a striker, what would it be? and you rated our transfer window from an 8 to 6.5 and have started a Kudus argument. So
he said rating, didn't he? He said rate the transfer window.
First of all, if you could buy a winger or a striker, what would you choose, and then what would you rate the window? So you.
Okay. So I didn't. No, I thought it was just the rating part. Right. So if I'm looking at a winger, oh gosh, this is okay. Right. You caught me out with this one.
If you decide the striker, Alex, who would you
Ndai.
Okay.
Ndai. That was the one that I was talking about. Yeah, Ndai. But I know there's. I know. Thing is, I can't say Kalush because I haven't really watched a lot of him, to be honest with you. So, but he's gone to PSG now, hasn't he? You get what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's done. I can't remember if it's done, but it's very likely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I do like. I do want you to have a bit of a nibble at Grealish, though. I do want to have a bit of a nibble. I know he's got injury problems, but I do like.
I wouldn't say no at getting Grealish in on top of what we would get in. I wouldn't mind getting Grealish in to cover the season as a 10. I know he'd get injured in that, but I think we get ourselves that left winger or striker. I would not say no to Grealish as a loan for the season.
Yeah.
You know what it is, Dan? Is there'll come a point, maybe it's after Cody and Savinho come in, do you remember that line we've heard from Spurs for so long? We're looking for opportunities. If we get these two in, and Spurs say, right, that's it, we're now looking at opportunities. I'm just saying, without the striker coming in, if that's what they say, then I'm going to be like, do you know what? For once, you've actually earned the chance to look for opportunities with everything you've brought in. Should Savinho and Cody come in, if Spurs start going, we're looking for opportunities now, that normally is the line that fears us with doom.
Yeah.
That normally fears us with doom. If we get that after bringing in those two players, if and when these two players come in, okay, then we need a striker, and hopefully one comes up. But we'll see. But we're going to be in that chance if we get those two, where you can't really knock the window.
I agree.
So if we don't want to knock the window, then so it's on to Zerbi now to work with these players and actually get us into a good position. Then, if we're going to say
the fucking manager, of course he is. It's his job.
No, I'm just saying. If this is a good window, then right. So then, if the Zerbi doesn't get like 7th, at least this season, there's going to be question marks then with that transfer window. Then is that's what everybody's saying right now?
As long as we get a winger or a striker, yeah, I totally agree in that aspect.
I'm just saying because we've got to be accountable for what we're saying here. If we're going to say it's a good transfer window, right?
Put it this way: if we go and get the winger in or the striker, whatever you want me to fucking call it, we go and get that other player to score a couple of goals. Yeah, I'm expecting between the 7th and a 7th upwards. Yeah. Depending on injuries and how others do. Let's say even maybe a 6 if we get a good goal scorer, yeah? And that's possibly pushing my luck a bit. But with that amount of money spent and players coming in of the standard and the quality they have, people will be expecting round about a 7th. But if we was to finish 10th or 11th, people wouldn't be impressed. This is if we get our striker or winger, by the way. But I still feel it would be enough to say, okay, that weren't quite good enough. Let's see what you do next season. I think he'll have that bit of breathing space. And then if, say, the following season we end up at 12th after we've spent more money, then baked potato, see you later. He's going to be gone. But I think he's going to have a bit of breathing space this window. With the team we've got at the moment, I think that's an 8th or a 9th. Because I think we're going to win a lot more games through not being so stupid in midfield and defence. But if we at least have somewhere where we can get a couple of goals from, I can see us finishing a 7th.
He gets a side eye if he doesn't get any more than 7th. If he gets the striker and the winger, right? And he gets because basically he's completed his transfer window. But he wants to, he says Kinski is his number 1. So you know what I mean. So like on the basis of all that, right? He's already signed Davis to a new contract. He's already signed Pora to a new contract. So he wanted him. So he's getting a lot of things that he wants. So there's no really excuses then after that, isn't it? Really? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm just saying. Anyway, it's nice knowing you guys. Thank you for me rattling all of you, especially Danny, who just needed a little bit of just a pat on the back. Just to put me in his place a little bit. Take care of yourselves.
Alex, you just
Take care of
agree with
yourself.
everything we say. So
No,
you do.
You
You
done
just
this
agree
for
with
the main
everything we
event.
say.
But anyway, moving on. I love you, Danny. I love you, Brian. Yeah, and thank you, Dan, for having me on. And I'll take care of yourselves
Always fun,
and
mate.
have a good shot.
That's
Take
it.
care, yeah.
Go on, mate.
See you later, bro.
Go take your medication.
Oh yeah, take the medication, Alex. You think you need it, mate?
You can't log out. There he goes. There he goes.
Oh fucking
dear.
hell.
Oh fucking dear.
I will say the one thing I didn't get to say to Alex is he banged on for about 15, 20 minutes about Kudus and his injuries, and then wants to bring in Jack Grealish, who was out for half the season injured.
Make it make sense. Oh my
I don't know. I think I'll just leave it at that. And future plan, Lily White. Thanks for the super sticker, everybody. Dean Law, appreciated, mate. Berlin PJ, Tony Rodriguez, always a regular on here, mate. And Futures Bright, Lily White, much appreciated. Just going to put the link in there one more time. Give me 1 second. I just need to find that on where I had that. I wasn't prepared for that one. Where's the other? There it is. Copy paste that. It's always the easier way to do it than looking everywhere through the fucking internet. And this is linked to Benji's show. He's building this one up at the moment, doing the shows and that, doing well for himself, and does a very good show. Always entertaining. Brian, great to see you again, mate.
And you, brother.
Be able to have good chatting for a while. Alex, cheers for coming on, fella. Danny K, always quality as usual, always up for a banter. I mean, come on, if you don't laugh in life, you fucking cry.
Exactly.
More people seem to want to cry these days. Brian, you doing anything soon?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm starting a new show, the Lily White Recap, because of my night shifts.
Okay.
I'm going to recap the stuff that's gone before. I've got to stay off, so I'll see all the news, but don't know what time it will be on tomorrow, but it will definitely be on tomorrow. And next Sunday, which Scott M will love, and a lot of people on this side of the pond, the return of late night Lily White, every single Sunday at 2 a.m. UK time, 9 p.m. my time. That is just chaos and can last an hour, could last 10 hours, but it's going to be back every Sunday.
Basically, just go with the fucking flow. Anyway.
Correct.
It's the easiest way to do things in life. Have a little plan and go with the fucking flow. Anyway, people, I'm going to go take my bollocking now because my wife fell asleep. That's why I stayed on longer, and she's been up for over an hour when I was just about to the end of the show. Thanks, Alex. Much appreciated. And I'll catch up with you lot soon. Take care. Have a good day. See you later, everyone.
Gotta do it hella big, had to run it back again.